this is the first time that we will have a homecoming under the aegis of the university moniker. With me today is on my left, your right. Whoa. Mike.
Yeah, I'm the long snapper, your local long. Glad to be here.
And on my right is Larry Fitzgerald.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Glad to be with you today. It's a beautiful day for football.
As you can hear, behind us is the Star Spangled Banner, and everyone else is standing at attention. We will have a broadcast this afternoon, and we will talk to you about the records of both teams and what they're expecting to accomplish today. We expect to have some very dynamic play today. Incidentally, it's Mike Morris. How could I ever forget the long snapper of the Vikings? He never makes a mistake. Just ask him. Mike, tell us, or Larry, will you open up for us today?
Well, it's great to be here with Mike Morris and yourself, Kwame. It's a historic day, as you mentioned. Concordia becoming a university officially under this game today here on this field. And it should be a great football game, and we are really looking forward to doing it for our listeners and viewers. Mike,
tell us about your being here and how did you get here?
Well, I'm a good friend of Larry Fitzgerald's, and I've done some work with Larry in the past, and he invited me to come along to add some color to the commentary here this afternoon. And what a colorful afternoon we have so far. I think the biggest factor of this football game might be the weather. There's some wind out there. Larry and I were up in our seats upstairs and almost got blown out of there. So I'm wondering what that ball is going to do. It should really affect the passing game of both clubs as well as their kicking. So it will be interesting to see which team can overcome that. I think the team that does will win this football game.
Mike, will the long snapper have problems today? You've done that a time or two, and it's different outdoors in weather like this than it is doing it in the Metrodome.
Well, there's no question about that. Now, I mean, people don't know this, but the long snapper really has kind of a tough deal out here on a day like this, where that wind is kind of swirling. You want to make sure. I was watching the kids in warm-up. Actually, that's what I do for a living, so I made sure to pay close attention to the long snapping, and they were having a little trouble getting that ball back there where it was supposed to go. Had a fumble with the punter twice. It's just going to be very interesting to see how the passing game goes and some of those skill positions you have to handle that ball when it's put up in the air. It's going to be very interesting to watch that.
Larry, this team, Maranatha, has lost 2 games, and Concordia also has lost 2, except they've won 1 more than Maranatha. What do you expect to see today?
I expect to see an offensive showcase. Both of these teams move the ball very well offensively in the air and on the ground. But I think Concordia has a stronger running attack with Eric Shuddy. He's just been outstanding. And I think that might give Concordia the edge today. Plus, they're playing on their homecoming on this unique and very passionate field. And I think that might be the big edge that they're going to need to get off to a good start here today.
All right, this is Kwame McDonald, and we're going to give it back to the truck.
Hi, this is Rachel Holbrook from SPNN, and I'm here with the president of Concordia University. This is Bob Holst. And Bob, I understand you want to give a little welcome to all these great fans out here today.
Well, I really do. It's an exciting day here for Concordia University, and we appreciate not only the fans that are here today, and it's a great crowd, but also those who might be watching this videotape. We appreciate them tuning in and sharing some of our excitement. It's a big day for us.
Yes, and some of the big news for you today is that you're announcing that it is now Concordia University. Why did you make the change?
Well, for a number of reasons. One is our language simply has changed in the English language, especially when we're working with international students. College overseas generally means high school institute, or I was in Venezuela last year, they had even a college, and it was a preschool. So for international students, it's very important to have a university. On campus, however, it meant that we organized a little better. Instead of having 7 different departments, now we have 3 colleges, and that really gives us more efficiency and an opportunity to expand more quickly. One of our strong points, for example, is our education department. And we have some real opportunities here in St. Paul with educating people to teach in situations of diversity. and to bring about understanding of ethnic diversity and differences in families and difference in income brackets. And so our College of Education, I think, which is a very strong college, can really accept those challenges and opportunities more quickly.
Okay, and what is the role of athletics in all of this?
Very important. First of all, I played in athletics myself. I played football and track and managed the basketball team, and so it's a very important part of my heart. I believe that at a university, students learn in the classroom and outside the classroom. And on the athletic field, they learn a lot about teamwork, they learn a lot about discipline, they learn a lot about hard work. And sometimes athletes get a bum rap. We did a study 2 years ago, and the grade point average of our athletes is actually higher than the average grade point of the university. And interestingly enough, their grade point average is higher during the semester in which they compete than when they don't compete. And I think that shows that athletes focus. They're very intelligent. As Tom Cross will tell you, when his quarterback is back there scrambling, that brain is working. And that's the kind of scrambling that people do in business and in teaching and in life. So I think the pressure of athletics, the discipline of athletics, really leads to a fuller human understanding of life. Plus, it's just a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. It sounds like you've got a great vision and you have a real great program going here.
Well, I think so. I'm excited. I'm excited about the location of Concordia. We're absolutely in the heart of the city. We have an opportunity to address the future. And of course, education is treasuring the past and evaluating it. But here, we're in this city where there's such great ethnic diversity, there's such great economic opportunity, there's such need for sound university education. We feel that we're right on the forefront, and we've had some wonderful opportunities not only with the European American community, but with the African American community, and now the Hmong American community. It's just enriching our curriculum and expanding our student body in surprising and very, very meaningful ways. I think Concordia is a great place to be.
Well, it sounds like it, and congratulations on your new name. And now on a lighter note, I know there's tons of students out there that would love to hear the president of Concordia University sing their school song.
And I'm going to disappoint them on that. Although I will brag, I think I can, because as you assumed in that, I am an alumnus of Concordia, and I could sing the school song, but I'd rather sing it in a group rather than as a solo.
Okay, I'll let you off. Thanks a lot.
With the star of all centers in the National Football League. They call him the long snapper extraordinaire, the most famous long snapping center in the National Football League's history. I think that's fair to say. Welcome, folks. Mike Morris and Larry Fitzgerald. We are here in the capital city of St. Paul for a big matchup today between Maranatha and the Comets of Concordia University. How are you today, Mr. Morris? Great to be here in this windy setting, isn't it?
Larry, this is unbelievable. We might as well be doing this from a weather balloon or something. It's unbelievable. The wind is just howling through this press box right now, but it figures to be a great afternoon for football. And I'm glad to be here with my good friend, Larry Fitzgerald.
You know, Mike and I will share some stories with you throughout this broadcast. We'll even, I promise you, before this day is over, give you a prediction on tomorrow's matchup at the Dome between the Vikings and the Carolina Panthers, because obviously that's a big one for the Minnesota Vikings, and Mike is taking a little time to spend with us this afternoon to bring you what is a college football game.
Well, you know, Larry, you have to pass the torch down, and I enjoy coming out to a good college game or a high school game on a Friday night. You know, it's just part of the way I was raised, and it took very little for them to have me come out here this afternoon to help out. And I'm always excited to watch a football game, no matter if it's Division 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. I could pick up a Nerf football and go out there on that softball field and strike up a game. I'm very happy. They wouldn't even have to pay me, Larry.
Mike, tell me this. What should our viewers look forward to this afternoon in regard to the first signs that are going to be telling in this broadcast of who has the edge in the first quarter of this matchup?
I think number one, you have to look at the offensive and defensive lines of both schools. I think that the people who win down in the trenches, and that's where I've spent most of my life, normally will come up on the high end of the stick, and that's where you want to be. Also the win factor.
And how do you like that? The Comets come out with a bang with a big return out to the 20-yard line. Jason Music, running back, a freshman of St. Cloud, Minnesota, Sartell High School. Boy, he's off to a great start, and he gets the Comets in excellent field position. They start at the 41.
Well, Maranatha had the wind advantage on that one. We could see how far that kick actually went with the wind. We'll see how it comes back in the second half. I'm sure it's going to have quite a determining factor on the outcome of this football game, Larry, especially the field goals and whatnot that we talked about in our game show.
And here come the comments on offense. We'll give you the players, the starters in today's broadcast as this afternoon continues. And the first snap and a handoff inside. Shocker, they give it to their outstanding running back who has had just a tremendous start to his career, Eric Shuddy, and he goes off left tackle and picks up a big gain on first down of 7 yards.
On that first down, Larry, you noticed the offensive line with some great surge coming off the ball, and it looks to me like Concordia's got some good size up front, and Maranatha not exactly the biggest defensive front, but you can see there's some pretty good gouges on the first two plays so far.
Yes, and they come out again, the Comets do, and hand the ball off inside to Ryan Anderson, a big fullback, and he stopped for a short gain, if any, inside. He's a sophomore. He's 5'10", 195 pounds, out of Wilmer, Minnesota. Here are the starters on offense that split in. Dawson Blanc, Jesse Furbay is the tight end. At left tackle, pick number 76, Andrew Fleischer. And we'll get to the others as they continue here on offense. No score. We're early at Concordia Field. Drops back in the pocket, throws out into the flat, and it's complete to his wide receiver. And he fumbled the football. They took it away from him on defense. And how do you like that? Maranatha has the football in excellent field position. And early in this game, Mike, a turnover sets the tone defensively.
Larry, that's going to be very costly, especially working into the wind. You know, if you can move the ball and complete that, we may see in our replay for you people watching at home this afternoon that the ball was caught cleanly, but I think that maybe one of the defenders for Maranatha got a hand in there on it and popped it. There it is right there, number 10, and popped that ball out of there real clean. That's Troy Campbell. He's the 6 foot, 180-pound junior for Maranatha.
And Maranatha tries to run the football offensively, and the Comets defensively are right there, and they're ready, and they shut them down. Excellent play of defense by the middle of it.
Larry, one of the most critical things in a football game is that turnover, that takeaway ratio that you have to look at very carefully. That's the number one of the biggest stats in football, any level.
Second down situation and long for Maranatha. Their freshman quarterback drops back in the pocket, and he is sacked on defense. Outstanding play by Matt Woodford, who came in from his outside linebacker position and put him down.
And there you have it. That's what it is. It's a game of giveaways and takeaways. And that was absolutely huge for this Concordia team. After starting out a game with a fumble of their own, now they've got it right back. And Larry, that's what's going to win or lose a football game, are turnovers.
And you're exactly right. And boy, did he get blasted on that play. An excellent play, as we said, by Matt Woodford coming in from his left linebacker spot. And he knocked Campbell back and separated him from the ball. The Comets recover it at about the 47-yard line, first down. Here comes Eric Shuddy inside, a short gain. He picked up about 3 yards as the Maranatha defense met him in the hole.
Working into that wind, I think anyone who can score in this end zone to our left, Larry, and has a chance then to come back with the wind is going to be the team that'll win this football game. I honestly believe the most successful team into the wind today is going to be the one that'll come out on top, because it is really gusting. I have no idea how heavy it is, but up here in this booth, we can really feel it, so it has to have some effect on the ball.
Here come the Comets, and the quarterback drops back. He's rushed out of the pocket, and he gets away from the first defender and throws. And that was a wise decision, Mike Morris, as he was blitzed on the play. He got outside the pocket, and he was fortunate to be able to get that ball away incomplete. Here we come with a third down.
That was just a real good job of this quarterback getting out of duress. He was under duress, and he was able to get himself out of a pretty sticky situation by dumping that ball off, which was a very wise thing to do.
That's tough to teach young players, to make sure that you don't try to get everything on one play. If you don't have something, just throw it out of bounds and reload on the next down.
Just reload. You have another one. You want to at least keep your team in field goal position or a chance to punt the ball and not do anything silly.
And Campbell is rushed out of the pocket again. He throws out in the flat, and he tried to hit his wide receiver on the play, but I think the play was incomplete. It was a tough catch. I believe they're going to give it to him. Oh my, what an excellent catch.
Larry, I thought that ball was trapped from my viewpoint, but I am obviously wrong. But we may have that down in the truck. I'm not sure. That was a pretty tough catch to make.
Jesse Furby with the excellent reception on the play. And
right at the stick, too. I think they have a first down.
He's had 19 receptions coming into today's action, averaging about 14 yards per reception and plus 1 touchdown. And here come the Comets again. They're moving the football. They're at the 37-yard line with a first down. My apologies, a 4th down. And now they have a first down as they give it the ball to Eric Shuddy. And as we touched on in the beginning of this broadcast, I thought the running game would be key in the early portions. We've had 2 turnovers, and we've played less than 5 minutes, but the running game is coming up big so far.
We can see on our replay that offensive line is having a good surge. Those guys outweigh that defensive line that they're facing, and I think that could be a real big factor in this. If they can continue to run the football and not have to put it up in the air, especially going into the wind like this, that will really be a plus.
Furby goes in motion left, and they swing the ball to Shuddy as he tries to get outside, and the Maranatha defense meets him head on and knocks him out of bounds for a short gain. And excellent play on defense there by the defense of Maranatha as they meet the run and the motion play and shut down the Comets on that particular play. It'll bring about a 2nd down. And
well, they toss the ball outside, and of course the big guy, number 39, when he gets a big head of steam up and he's heading for the corner, that puts a lot of pressure on a little defensive back to have to come up and plant that guy. He's about 6 feet, 196, and I would be willing to bet he's a little heavier than that.
Here come the Comets on offense. Furby goes in motion right, and they hand it off inside, and the excellent defensive surge by Maranatha meets him for a loss in the backfield. And boy, I'll tell you, this Maranatha defense is coming up with some plays defensively.
I think you'll see in our replay coming up that this defensive tackle just spikes inside. He's slanting down inside, and he just meets the running back in the backfield, and the play's over. So as big as Concordia may be, Maranatha might be a little quicker, might make up for it with a little better quickness. And on that play, it certainly paid off.
Brian Brock with the tackle brings about a 3rd down play for the Comets of Concordia University. Campbell drops back in the pocket. He moves out of the pocket to his right. He's rushed, and he tries to throw the ball in the flat, and the ball is caught near the first down marker. Looks like he's going to be a couple of yards short on the 3rd down play, so that'll bring about a 4th down play. And got to give a lot of credit again to Mr. Campbell as he shows his ability to get out of the pocket, think on his feet. Dustin Campbell throwing the pass to his favorite wide receiver, Jesse Furby, to pick up a short gain to bring about a 4th and 2, Mr. Morris.
And I think they're probably going to elect to go, they're really too close to punt, and with this wind, it's pretty tough to go for a field goal from here. So they're going to try for it on 4th down, Larry.
Ball's near the 25-yard line. Campbell gives the ball to their top running back, Shuddy. He gets outside, turns the corner at the 20, and knocks the bounds at about the 18-yard line. That's a first down for the Comets of Concordia.
I'll tell you what, that kid is pretty hard to slow down. He's a horse now, and they pitched the ball outside to him and kind of let him just pick his own daylight. So they did do a pretty good job of stretching that play out. And we'll see on our replay that that offensive line is starting to do the things that they're supposed to do. Out on the corner, and it's very hard to outrun the corner in college football, but the big man gets out there and he moves pretty good.
9:48 to play in the first quarter. Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you. We are at Concordia Field for the matchup between Maranatha and the Comets of Concordia. Campbell in the pocket, drops back, rolls to his right, throws in the middle, and it's tipped, knocked away by the Maranatha defense as Campbell tried to hit his wide receiver after a fake on the inside to his fine running back shuttle. The play goes incomplete. That brings up a 2nd down.
Well, he sets up nice. This quarterback for Concordia is You can see he steps into he's planting off his back foot, his right foot, and he just sits in there the way a good quarterback should. Even with the heat coming on, he throws right into the teeth of that defense. And I don't know if it was a wise choice or not. He's had some success, and he's confident. And that just goes to show his confidence right there.
Second down play, 2nd and 10. In fact, Campbell rolls out to his right and throws back across the defense, and it's knocked away on defense by an excellent defensive play by the Maranatha College team. They've done a good job so far. Troy Campbell slaps the ball away. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Well, Larry, just as I said, he was planting and stepping, and now he's throwing up his front foot, and you can see the results here. Not nearly as authoritative as he was on the first couple passes, but I jinxed him.
This is a homecoming game for the Comets. You get emotional on homecoming days, Mr. Morris?
You know what? I even got a corsage down here. One of the girls even pinned some flowers on me.
Campbell with the quick handoff inside the shuttle, and he breaks a tackle. And there's a fumble on the play. And guess who has it? Maranatha comes up with the football as Eric Shuddy on a quick handoff inside from Campbell. Mike looked like he had an excellent play to pick up the 1st down, but he was separated from the football.
Well, I'm telling you, the offensive line had a nice gouge. We're going to see on our instant replay. You know, he's going to fake the pass. It's going to be a delayed draw, and there he goes. A big man right up the gut. There's a hole. He finds a nice seam, and then look out. Come on, guy. You got to protect the ball. You're doing a good job, but you got to hang on to that ball. The turnovers will kill you. The turnovers will kill you, and what is even more devastating is that they were doing that all into the wind. Larry Fitzgerald, if they could have put that in the end zone, I think that's key here today in this ball game.
And you're right, they were working against the wind, which today would be south. And Maranatha, they've come up with the plays defensively. Twice they've forced the ball. They've taken away from them, and you can't do that if you expect to win a football game, especially on your home field against an excellent team.
That's exactly right, Larry. They're a very opportunistic ball club. They're making their own breaks, and their defense has taken the ball away from Concordia already this afternoon twice in the first quarter.
The fumble was forced by Steve Perdue. He's a 6-foot junior linebacker. Did an excellent play. By the way, Maranatha, they look like a little bit of the Wolverines of Michigan with the gold helmets and the blue pants and the
they kind of that
jersey.
LSU thing, don't they? They look like the Bayou Bengals.
It's like the Bengals. Here we go on offense for Maranatha. They give the ball to their running back. He tries to get outside, but the Comets meet him defensively at about the 11-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and long.
Well, the Concordia team seems to be ready to play a little bit on defense too, and we'll see on our instant replay that they're going to try and find the corner. The toss seems to be both teams' play of choice here this afternoon, but you can see it's very difficult to outrun college defenses. You might get by with this in high school, but in college and pro, unless you're Robert Smith, of course, you're not going to get the corner, of course, unless you've got a couple nice guards leading away.
Here we go with a 2nd down play, 8:23 to play in the first quarter, and Maranatha throws a pass, and it's incomplete. He tried to get his wide receiver, number 41, in the flat, and the ball was knocked away. That'll bring up a 3rd down play. Boy, they've got bad field position, Maranatha has, and of course, what do you think they'll do here on 3rd down? Obviously, they've got the win at their back.
Well, Larry, you know, now here's another guy throwing a little bit off. You know, he's not planting and setting and throwing and stepping into the ball. It was still delivered pretty nicely, but that Maranatha with the Concordia defense is a pretty tough outfit. You can see already that they may bend, but they don't break. A nice out route.
Wow, and he caught the ball out in the flat, and he's got a 1st down as he's knocked out of bounds, and a big 3rd down play by Maranatha as they get the 1st down. They've got an excellent passing offense, and give a lot of credit to the quarterback on the play. He found his wide receiver Scott Lanzin in the flat, and he did what was necessary to get the 1st down.
You can see this guy makes a nice move here now. Scott Lanzin, number 41, just a nice move. He does this on his own, folks. After he catches the ball, he can do something with it. He picks up the 1st down on 2nd effort.
What do you think of the quarterback so far of this young team? They're moving the football. They're doing a pretty good job of it. I'm talking about Kevin Taylor. There's a handoff inside. And boy, I tell you, the Comet defense, they all meet him in the hole. as the running back for Maranatha, Mr. Sean Madrid, 5'8", 210 junior, fullback, tried to get outside, but he was met by the defense of the Comets.
Yeah, Aaron Newman in on that play, number 38, the defensive tackle and linebacker. He's a senior, 5'11", 215 from Concordia. Also works in our equipment room with the Vikings. I know this gentleman.
Oh, wow, he's a good person then,
He's
because
not
only
bad.
good guys work in that locker room. Oh, my, pass in the flat. He was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and an interception, the 4th turnover of this game. And Adam Shuddy comes up with the football. Defensive back, sophomore, gets the interception on the tip ball. Actually, it wasn't tipped. Kevin Taylor tried to throw a pass, and he was hit on the play.
We have the replay. It's number 1, Lucas Woodford. He's a 6'3" senior, and he's got a little weight behind that shoulder. He's 236 pounds. Coming off the edge, looked like a safety blitz. I mean, he hit him right in the back, and those are the kind that really hurt Larry. And that ball just came out. It came out bad. He actually did get something behind it, but it was picked off. It was enough that it affected the pass quite a bit.
Perfect timing on that play, as you mentioned. The pass was just floated up there in the air, and he comes up with the interception, and the turnovers are even at 2-2. Here's Eric Shuddy off left tackle trying to get outside, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 16-yard line on a first down play, an excellent gain of about 7.
Well, this looks like their go-to guy. They're going to stay with him the whole way, it looks like. Off at the ball once, but they want to keep his confidence high. They gave it right back to him. He hangs on to it, makes a nice catch. Soft hands for a big guy.
Here's the replay coming up here for us. Tell us what he did on this play.
Well, he just kind of releases out into the flat, and they dump the ball off to him. He's got some soft hands. He makes the catch, turns upfield, stiff arms a man. He's got some size, and he looks a lot bigger than the 196.
Campbell hands the ball. Excuse me, Mike. Campbell hands the ball off inside to the fullback, Ryan Anderson, for a short gain. That'll bring up a 3rd down play, 3rd and short. As the Comets, they've been knocking on the door since the kickoff, Mike, with 6:52 to play here in the first quarter. They're deep in the Maranatha side of the field.
Yeah, they're down in the red zone finally now, Larry, and it's a tough defense down there with the Maranatha club. They just are not getting handed to them. They're really hanging tough with this. On that last play, they just drive him straight back. Another killed running play.
And they get a first down, and Campbell drops out, fakes a pass out in the flat, and he tries to hit his wide receiver for Bay. Oh my, what a catch in the end zone!
Unbelievable.
Wow, he's got the number 80, and that looked like a play that we see on Sundays from your wide receiver, number 80, Chris Carter. What a catch.
The play action faked the cameraman and us and everybody else, but that's what sold that play.
Jesse Furbay with an excellent concentration in the wind, and he caught the football with his looking back over his shoulder. What an excellent play.
Unbelievable. He has the presence of mind to keep both feet in bounds, and it's 6 points for Concordia University.
And now we come into the area of your expertise, and Mr. Morris will be watching very closely the long snapper.
Well, it's a great snap, I'll say that much. Number 42, Matt Woodford is my guy. All 6'1", 210 pounds of long snapper, but of course the new rule in college and high school football, Larry, is that you can't touch the long snapper for a second until after he has snapped the ball. But you can see that that ball was easy to place, and the kick is up and good. So Concordia making the best of it, Larry, heading down the field like a machine. Of course, broke up a couple times with turnovers, but they did finally, in fact, get the ball back and put it in the end zone into the wind, and I still think that will be a deciding factor.
That is huge, as you just mentioned, Mike. They scored going into the wind after turning the ball over twice previously. They were persistent. They went after it with the running game, and Campbell was able to throw the touchdown pass out in the flat. Dustin Campbell gets his wide receiver, Jesse Furbay, in the end zone. We're going to go now to an interview with Kwame McDonald. He has my good friend, Mr. Mike Augustine. And there's the kickoff, and it's taken by number 49 of Maranatha, Scott Benson. And he is blasted out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. It'll be first down for Maranatha on offense. So far, Maranatha's turned the football over twice. The Comets have turned it over twice. Right now, we are involved in a turnover fest.
Well, that was a nice job by the special teams of Concordia. And as you know, it's going to be critical to get that ball kicked as far as you can into the wind and to cover as tight as you can and not allow a lot of real estate being turned over on special teams. And Larry, that's going to be critical.
There's a handoff inside to Sean Madrid, and he is met by the middle of the Comet defense as they force a loss on the play.
Well, this is a pretty tough defense. They've already taken 2 balls away from Maranatha, and we're going to see this on the replay, that they are just not going to give up any yardage today on the ground. Number 5, Sean Madrid, 5'8", 210 pounds, sort of an Emmett Smith built sort of guy. Built low to the ground, but he's not going to find much yardage in there against that Concordia defense. They're pretty tough between the tackles.
Maranatha comes out with the football on offense, led by the quarterback Kevin Taylor. In motion goes number 41, Scott Lanzing. And they throw the ball across the middle. And boy, did he get stuck. There's a flag on the play. And we'll see what the officials...
I think we're going to have interference, but it's going to be declined, I'm sure, because he caught the ball. But he was interfered with and still had the presence of mind and concentration to keep his eye on the ball and make the catch.
And there's the replay there for you.
You'll see it right there. He was already all over the guy, but he makes the catch. That's number 3, Nate Oates, 6'2" senior, coming up with a fine catch. And you can see here that there's a pretty good looking offensive line there standing in that wolf pack, Larry Fitzgerald. They look like they've had their oats today, speaking of oats.
They're off to a good start.
Looks like they've got into their Wheaties a little bit this morning. Some pretty good girth on a few of the hogs down there.
7-0 Comets. We are in the first quarter, 5:20 left, as Maranatha comes across the border in a border battle against Concordia University here at Concordia Field. First down is the play. The ball sits on about the 46-yard line, and the quarterback drops back in the backfield and throws the pass across the middle. A beautiful in route, and the reception is made by Seth Spat, a 6-foot wide receiver. He's a senior. A beautiful play there, Mr. Morris.
I'm going to tell you, this guy's pretty impressive the way he sets up with this. Now, he's done this a couple of times, and he puts that ball exactly where it has to be. He couldn't have thrown it any other place, in fact. And into this, with this wind today, it's just, it's pretty impressive, Larry.
Hard to believe he's a freshman, isn't it? It's a fake handoff, and my goodness, boy, he got hit very hard. Kevin Taylor faked it on the inside to his fullback and kept it on the, looked like an option play.
It looked to me like it was a broken play, actually. It was designed to be an option, but something happened as he turned around. It might have been the exchange from the center to the quarterback, Larry, but he didn't get a real good handle on that ball, and he was forced to recover his own fumble and just kind of eat that apple.
Mike, they're going to get a replay on this play literally because of the penalty against the Comets of 5 yards. So they're working in good field position here as they pick up the 5 yards on the mistake by the Comets. Why don't you set the scene with our officials who are on the field today?
Well, today our officials are referee Bruce Anderson, and our umpire is Dave Bell. The head linesman is Mark Hegstad. The line judge today is Kent Peterson, back judge Tony Romelli, and field judge is Dean Larson.
And there's the reverse. They give the ball to number 41, Scott Lanson, but the defense of the Comets was excellent on the play. They sat at home and did a good job of making the play defensively.
Larry, we said it already a few times today. It's awfully hard to outrun college defenses, but now this play is pretty well designed, and the critical thing here is that during the exchanges of all these skill position players, that they hand the ball off cleanly, and it almost goes, but you'll see that the Concordia defensive back comes up and forces the play to the sideline. He stretches it out real nice, and that's the only way you can stop that play.
The ball sits on the 30-yard line. Here comes Maranatha. The quarterback drops back in the pocket, throws out in the flat. It's intercepted! What a play! Out in the flat on defense, and we've got a touchdown! touchdown if he can run another 10. And he's knocked down at the 1-yard line. What a great play defensively. Well, I'll tell you something. This Comet defense, they have really been doing a terrific job. And number 47, Adam Shuddy, with his second interception of the game.
And he could go all the way, but he doesn't.
Kevin Taylor has his pass intercepted as he threw late in the flat. And there goes Eric Shuddy.
He times it just right. He steps right in front of it. He has just enough in him to get to the 1-yard line. I believe they've spotted it at the 1.5-yard line, Larry, and then he runs out of gas.
And it's first and goal as they go again into the wind. And Campbell will try and put his team in the end zone again. Maranatha with a major challenge now, first and goal. And there's the handoff quarterback. They go on a sneak.
Wow. Looks like they're trying to quarterback wedge there, going with the bigger offensive line against the smaller defensive line, hoping just to wedge that ball into the end zone. Second down, though.
3:51 to play here in the first quarter on a very windy Saturday afternoon in October. Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris, the star center of the Minnesota Vikings, with you. Second down play at the 2-yard line. Here come the Comets as they try to add to their 7-0 lead. Campbell with the football, gives the ball to Eric Shuddy. He gets outside, and he's in the end zone. And the Comets take a 13-0 lead.
Well, he's able to kind of bounce off this, Larry. He's a big man. You got to wrap when you tackle this guy. Eric Shuddy, they list him at 6 feet, 196, Larry, and I'm still willing to wager good money that he's at least 210. He bounces off. You can see here on your replay, you got to wrap this guy up. He's got some powerful legs, and he manages to fight his way into the end zone standing up. 6 points. Now let's watch our favorite long snapper. Wait, not our favorite. Second favorite long snapper.
That's right, you're our favorite.
A little high on the snap, actually. But as we say in the business, after the long snapper lets go of the ball, it's their job.
Last week, were you a little nervous on that last snap? Do you get nervous in key situations like that?
After this many years, it's just a matter of lining up. They all pretty much look the same to me, but anything really, even on the last snap, anything within the framework of that holder is good. Is a good snap.
Boy, the Comets are off to a great start.
Yeah, it doesn't throw the rhythm off here, and on our replay you can see it was a done deal. 1, 2, 3, the battery works again.
14-0, the Comets, they take the lead over Maranatha in this big matchup, and boy, what a big one it is, because Concordia is off to its best start in quite some time. It's been 9 years since Concordia has enjoyed the kind of success that they are enjoying so far this year with this 4-2 start overall. The Comets find themselves tied for the lead in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference with next week's opponent, Mount Scenario. And right now they're up 14-0 here this afternoon. Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris with you. Here's our kickoff by Campbell. He does everything for this team. And the return is brought out to about the 40-yard line, so Maranatha will have excellent field position. They're still working with the wind at their back. They find themselves down here 14-0. Turnovers have been the story, Mike Morris.
They really have, and who is going to capitalize on the turnovers? That's even been a bigger story, because they are tied at 2-2 in turnovers. Well, am I correct on that? I think it's 3-2 now.
It's 3-2 now.
Okay, well, now you can see who's capitalized on, and going into the wind, now you can see a short kick. They have a perfect opportunity here at the 40-yard line.
And they go with the option play. He tries to get the ball outside, and defensively, number 42, Matt Woodford, comes up with the play. However, there's a flag on the play. It looked like a face mask. I think we're going to have a
face mask, Larry. John Nordstrom, the big 5'10", 190-pound junior tailback from Maranatha, trying to make the corner, and he gets drugged down by the face mask, and that's kind of a scary thing in football, to be grabbed by your face mask. You can really. That is the call, Larry. Face mask.
Now, in your opinion, how do you determine whether it's a 15-yarder or a 5-yard penalty? Whether he lets go right away?
Well, you know, it's an individual call. But if you hang on to that thing and you continue to make the tackle by using that face mask, that's flagrant. And if you see the guy's hand fly off, as soon as he grabs it, he knows he's grabbed a face mask and he could injure someone, then you go with the lesser penalty. But he actually made the tackle by using that face mask. You've got to tack on the big one.
And they only gave him 5 on that particular play, so it's a first down.
They only penalized him 5 yards?
Only 5 yards on that play. So
unbelievable.
obviously the officials are...
Well, they didn't see it like I saw it.
Maranatha with the football. They hand the ball off to their big back inside, and he tries to get outside, but he picks up a short gain of 2 on the play. And he is their fine tailback, John Nordstrom, trying to get off left tackle for a short gain of 2.
We have a replay here for you all. You can see a pretty good surge by their offensive line now. A nice pickup. They're going to bend him backwards here. That kind of hurts sometimes to see a guy going backwards when his legs are already pinned to the floor. But you know, Larry, they've continued to move the ball pretty well until they have an interception or a turnover. But this guy can throw the ball very well.
He does, and he throws the ball there for a play out in the flat that leads to a first down, and we have an injury on the field.
I can't see the number, Larry, but I do see the quarterback standing up, so it was not our quarterback.
And the trainer for Maranatha goes out to help with the injury on the play, and I believe it's the fullback, John Nordstrom. Apparently, he tried to throw a block on that blitz attempt by the Comets, and he's been injured.
I can tell by the trainer that he may have had that's the telltale sign right there. When they pull that guy's belt, try and get him some wind. That's normally a telltale sign that he has had all of the wind taken out of his body.
Now, that's happened to you on occasion in your veteran career of 11 years in the National Football League. How does that feel? Tell our viewers what that's like.
You just lay there and gasp for everything you can get your lungs into. I mean, it is one of the toughest things you can go through. We've all had the wind knocked out of it, but oh, if you land on the football, it happens a lot to the backs when they land on the football, or a quarterback throws a ball in there really hard and tight, and it catches a receiver right in the stomach. It can just take every breath away from you. It takes a while.
First down for Maranatha as they try to get back in this ball game. They're down 14-0. If you just joined us, the Comets of Concordia University lead it. There's a handoff to their big back. Sean Madrid, the junior, 210 pounds, runs off right tackle, I should say, for a big gain, Mike Morris.
Larry, outside of the penalties that this team has made, they're actually a pretty effective ball club offensively. You can see here that they have a nice big lead back, makes a great block on the edge, and leave it to the fullback to make up some pretty good yardage. And they have been able to move the ball pretty consistently outside of turnovers.
Second down and 3 on the play. Maranatha gives the ball to him again. He tries to get outside, but the Comets meet him defensively. An excellent play defensively by the Comets, led by linebacker Matt Wolford.
Basically the same play, Larry, run to the other side of the field. And this time the Concordia defense comes up and stops it. Maranatha saying basically, we're going to run this until you can stop us. And this time they come right back to the other side, and they may have picked up one, but pretty good job by Concordia University.
Ball on the 38-yard line, third down play, throughout the flat, and a little miscommunication on the play there as the quarterback throws the ball one place, the wide receiver runs to another, incomplete on third down. That'll bring up a fourth down play. What do you do here, Mr. Morris?
Well, we're going to get our first look at a punt here this afternoon. So the snapper actually has the wind with him. And this will be interesting.
Big crowd on hand for the homecoming.
The punter will have the wind to his back, so this should be a pretty good punt.
And there it is, carrying down inside.
Coffin corner.
The 10-yard line. Let's see where they mark the ball. Oh, that's an excellent play defensively.
Well executed. He kicked it right out of bounds and looks on about the 7-yard line, Larry. And our snapper had a pretty good go at it. He was snapping into the wind. The punter had the wind to his back, so it was the tougher job for the snapper that time. But he gets the ball there.
Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris with you. We're at Concordia University, the homecoming, where the Comets are taking on Maranatha in a border battle right here in the capital city.
punter doing a nice job of kicking that ball out of bounds on about the 7-yard line. It backs Concordia up. They're going to be forced to go about 93 yards to score this time, Larry.
And there's Eric Shuttle as they give him the football. He tries to get outside, and he picks up a sizable gain on first down with 40 seconds to play here in the first quarter. It's been dominated by turnovers, 5 in the game, 3 by Maranatha, and 2 have led to touchdowns by the Comets, who lead at 14-0.
No question, Concordia University has made the best of their opportunities and as well as their turnovers. They also have a pretty good ground game, and the time of possession, I'm sure, reads very handily. Concordia.
15 seconds to play in the first quarter, 14-0 to play. Here's the hand. Oh, the fumble on the play, and Shuttle was able to get it back. Shuddy, I should say. Boy, that looked like a disastrous play there for a second, because Maranatha could have taken advantage of the great field position. And there's the end of the first quarter, 14-0. Don't forget, folks, the halftime band, the Marching Knights of Irondale High School, will be on display, and well, they're dressed appropriately here today, Mr. Morris.
You can see on our replay there, Larry, that he's just having a little trouble with the exchange from the quarterback. He's done a great job running the ball, but he's going to have to protect it a little better here, especially with the wind conditions and so on and so forth. They're going to have to be real careful on their exchanges.
Very good point, and here's the fumble coming up for us here, Mr. Morris.
Now you can just see it, just kind of, the quarterback has a little tough, he comes out of there, but it's like he's out of position to make the handoff. Now I don't know if that's a communication problem or it was a broken play, but he really had to reach to try and get that ball to Eric Shuddy. And it came off of his elbow pad, and the result is a fumble. They get it back.
The Comets ahead of the Crusaders, 14-0 here at Concordia Field in the capital city of St. Paul. Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you. Mike Morris, yes, of the Minnesota Vikings. As we bring you this broadcast.
Your local long snapper. Give him a call. I'll snap him for you in your backyard, anywhere you want him.
Here come the Comets on offense. They're deep in their own territory. Want to be careful with the football here. They give the ball quick. And on the handoff to Shuddy. He gets outside big time. Down the sidelines he goes at midfield. 40, 30, 20. He's gone for the touchdown. Eric Shuddy on an off-tackle play. Got outside, broke a couple of tackles, Mike Morris, and he went the distance.
The big man's got some wheels. He took her the distance. I didn't know if he had it in him, but in fact, right now, I don't think he does. We see Eric Shuddy running up the field for Concordia. And I have no idea how far that was. It looked like it must have been about 93 yards.
To say you're right on.
And there he goes. He breaks one, he breaks 2 tackles. He gets a nice block.
Beautiful block there.
Great blocking downfield. No mistakes, no clipping, and they got him walled off, and there he goes. The big man can haul the mail.
Dawson Blank with a great block on the touchdown, and the extra point is good. And it's 21-0 Comets over the Crusaders here, as Concordia off to a great start as they try to get win number 5. "92-yard run by Eric Shuddy. He's obviously over 100 yards here today, and a great block on the play by tackle Ben Venice to open him up to get outside.
Well, he's done a real good job here of hanging onto the ball. I'd like to see him protected a little more right about here, but the big man can take her the distance, as we see, coast to coast. He could go all the way, and he does right there.
Wow, what a big play. They've been able to do it through the ground and air. What a offensive, impressive performance so far here by the Comets, who are just off to a terrific start here in 1997. Boy, they are really playing well here early.
I like this Concordia team, Larry. They've got a little bit of everything. They got some passing. They've got a nice big back. Their defense is tough. They've taken the ball away a couple of times. We had a nice interception return earlier today, and I believe that was 47 for Concordia? Please, someone help me out with this.
Yes.
Was that Adam Shuddy that picked that ball off?
That's correct. He has 2 interceptions today, and that's his brother.
He got down. So the big guys for this team are brothers, Eric and Adam Shuddy. And I think Eric just pulled ahead in the return yardage there.
Yes.
I think his brother had about a 60-yard interception return, maybe more.
And he was tripped up right
on the 1 yard. I couldn't take it the distance, but brother Eric takes it the distance, 92 yards.
Mom's got to be very happy with her two sons, who are really making an impressive contribution, I should say, to today's game for the Comets, who lead at 21-0. We're early in the second quarter. Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you on SPNN.
Now we can see the difference in that wind, Larry. He just kicked the ball down to the goal line there, where it was coming out to the 30-yard the other way. Special teams. That was pretty crucial there. Now they've stopped him inside the 20-yard line, and that's the difference in the wind right there. The guy was kicking down to the 30-yard line in the first quarter, and he just made it to the goal line there. Their special teams stop Maranatha inside the 20-yard line, which is huge special teams play. To force a team to go 85 yards is doing your job on special teams.
Jesse Blom had the ball there on the return, being knocked out of bounds, and here comes Maranatha trying to get back in this game. They trail 21-0. There's the handoff to their fine back, and he gets a sizable gain on the outside. Sean Madrid off right tackle. Mike, what do you do here in this situation when you find yourself down? What does Coach Terry Price try to do to you? Do you scrap your game plan, or do you just buckle up?
I think they're going to stay with it. They've had a little luck with that lead back, sort of an ISO, and they've picked up some decent yardage with it. I think they'll probably try and stay on the ground right now, coming back into the wind. They got plenty of time. This ball game is far from over, and they've been able to move the ball pretty effectively on the ground. We'll see what happens here.
2nd down and 6 on the play, and they pitch the ball to their running back, John Nordstrom, who tries to get outside. 5'10", junior, 190 pounds. And he picks up a few yards on the play. He's close to a first down. That'll bring up a 3rd down play. 3rd and 4 on the play. Maranatha, led by their freshman quarterback, Kevin Taylor. He's a big one, 6'3", almost 200 pounds. Takes his team up to the line. Calls out his signal and drops right back in the pocket, and he goes deep. And he's got his wide receiver in stride. And he's down the sidelines, Chris Maples. And he's gone for a touchdown. And another big play in this game.
And there you have it, Larry. That's how quickly you can get back into the game. He lays that ball out there nice, and he's thrown the ball very well all afternoon, with the exception of one of the interceptions. But he laid that thing out there, and that's throwing right into the teeth of that wind.
Well, that was a beautiful pass and an even better route by Scott Lanzan, who's 6 foot, 175-pound senior, and he caught it in stride, and down the sidelines he goes. Another big play in this game.
Unbelievable, Larry. He laid that ball right in there where it was supposed to be, and the big Scott lands and catches it and takes it the rest of the way.
And we get to see the special teams play on the snap and hold, and it's not good as he misses wide left. So the score is 21-6, 13:06 to play here in the second quarter. And the one thing that's so impressive about that play, Mike, is the fact that he was able to throw the ball with some touch against the wind.
Very impressive. He was able to stand in there. It was good protection by that offensive line. Gave him the time to throw the ball. He steps into the ball. He's thrown very well here this afternoon, outside of that one miscue to Adam Shuddy. But that ball was in the right place at the right time, and big Scott lands and rumbles the rest of the way with it. And we've had some enormous plays on both teams here this afternoon.
And we anticipated that. Both of these teams are offensive teams, offensively minded, and today's Upper Midwest Athletic Conference game features the Maranatha Crusaders from Watertown, Wisconsin, and a Concordia win today would set up a classic showdown for the UMAC title next week, with Mount Scenario with just 2 conference games remaining for this Comet team.
Should be very interesting to see how far he can put this ball into the wind now, Larry. And he does a little better job than the Concordia kicker.
It's grabbed by number 20 for Concordia, Jason Music, freshman running back, and he picks up a short gain as he gets to about the 26-yard line, where the Comets will have it on first down. Actually, the 27-yard line, first down for the Comets to lead at 21-6. We're in the second quarter. Mike Morris, Larry Fitzgerald with you on a windy but pleasant afternoon in the capital city of St. Paul.
It's not that cold out here, but oh, the wind. It's about ready to blow Larry and I right out of the tower here. Annie M, it's a twister, I think.
Now, that's why they wanted a couple of big guys on this broadcast, huh?
They needed someone to anchor the table.
That's right. As the officials throws the flag, a number of them on the play. Let's see what the officials have on this play. Mike, of course, close to 270, and I'm in that neighborhood myself.
Yes, that neighborhood, of course. I think you are the neighborhood, Larry. You are the neighborhood. Oh, yeah. Larry Fitzgerald tipping the scale at just a biscuit away from 3 bells, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Larry, come on, man.
But I'm drinking plenty of water, so I can get that metabolism going, so we can keep it within biscuit range. Here come the Comets on offense as the Crusaders show blitz and then drop back, give the ball to the man today, Mr. Eric Shuddy, and boy, he runs for big yards off left tackle. He's got some excellent movement. I mean, he's got body movements in his hip. He's got tremendous potential.
He's kind of nifty, isn't he? He's got a little scat in him. A nice move here, then he sets a block up and he cuts it right back up against the grain, and that's their workhorse. That's their go-to guy. And he's hanging onto the ball, doing all the right things now. So I think he's just getting lathered up good. You want to get a big back lathered up so he starts to feel like he's got his rhythm in the game. And I think he's getting his rhythm, believe me. He had a 92-yard run last drive.
There's a handoff inside to their other running back in this game, number 35, Mr. Israel Olsen. He's a sophomore. And he picks up a short gain on the inside. That'll bring up a third down play in this game. The Comets lead at 21-6. If you just joined us, Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you on a windy afternoon on the homecoming of the Comets of Concordia University. Today it's official. They become a university. Boy, that is a tremendous opportunity for the students and the university.
We're going to get a chance to see Eric Shuddy's replacement. Well, not his replacement. We're just talking about a guy that gives him a breather from time to time. 35 gets the ball this time, and they're doing a great job for him, too, up front. He picks up about 5 yards on the play, and Concordia's got a pretty decent offensive line, Larry. I'm pretty impressed with them, too.
Yeah, the big guys are getting it done up front, led by Clayton Lindner, his offensive tackle, sophomore, 6'6", 270 pounds. And at right guard, Mark Eisner, sophomore, 6'1", 225. They're doing a good job, and they've got a freshman center, surprisingly, Mr. Morris. Did you give him any tips before the game?
Well, you know what, the center, our college coach back at Northeast Missouri State used to say, upon this rock I will build my church, as he said of the centers. And it's because he's the brain trust up there. He's got to make all the calls out there to the guards and the tackles, make the adjustments to any of the stemming defenses and so on and so forth. But that center really kind of runs that whole show up there, and he'll bark out a one-word, code word, what have you, up front, and tell everyone up there on that offensive line what their adjustment should be, usually by 1 or 2 words, rip, Liz, whatever they need to do, compensate for the numbers in that box between the tackles.
Dustin Campbell brings his team out of the huddle, a third down play, 2 yards to go. He drops back in the pocket, and he tries to throw the ball out in the flat, but the Crusaders on defense come up with the play, and Nathan Taylor slapped that ball away, and it'll bring up a 4th down play for the Comets. Maranatha just scored a touchdown on a huge play, and they're going to get the football back. They're going to get the football back again here, apparently.
We had a receiver out there in the open, but it was just blocked. One of the defenders had their hand up at the right time in the right place and got a piece of that ball. And now we see the versatility of Mr. Shuddy. He's also a punter.
Oh my, he earns it for the Comets, doesn't he?
I'm impressed. A nice and decent snap there.
Oh, line drive kick. So that gets a good bounce, and Concordia Taylor tries to get on defense here as the Crusaders go across the midfield mark, and he's knocked out of bounds with a pretty good return. And the Crusaders will start with a first down at the 45-yard line as they try and cut into this sizable lead of 21-6 by the Comets of Concordia University.
Well, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that ball was struck a little poorly. In fact, it was just dribbled down the middle of the field, and there was no hang time on it. And they were able to just pick it up on the run, basically. So that makes for a lot better field position for the Maranatha College offense.
Nathan Turner with the return. There's a throw out in the flat. The man who just scored the touchdown minutes ago, Scott Lanson, and he caught a little curl route and picked up 5 yards as he goes to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Crusaders. 10:55 to play, 21-6 Comets.
This guy has been pretty impressive delivering the football into the wind. Kevin Taylor lands the ball to his favorite wide receiver, Scott Lanson. Nice pickup into the wind. And you can see how crucial those special teams really are, giving the ball up where they did. They're already almost in field goal range.
And they pitch the ball outside to the running back, John Nordstrom, and he gets a good gain on 2nd down, and it'll bring up a 3rd down, however, and about 2 or 3 yards for the Crusaders as they try to get back in this game. They trail 21-6 in a good one here in the capital city between the Comets and the Crusaders. We've had 5 turnovers in this game, if you just joined us, and 2 have led to touchdowns for the Comets, 1 on a 92-yard run by Eric Shuddy. Here comes Maranatha. Kevin Taylor drops back in the pocket and throws, and it's complete to his wide receiver, who's knocked down, number 21, Seth Spate, at about the 23-yard line. That's a first down on 3rd down, so a 3rd down conversion for the Crusaders, Mike Morris.
Kevin Taylor is getting better by the down.
He's warming to the scene.
He just shot that one right in over the top of that defense and into that wind that we've been talking about. And first down, big 3rd down conversion there.
Here comes Maranatha. Quarterback drops back in the pocket, and again he throws out in the flat, and he picks another wide receiver to throw the ball to. This time it's Nate Oates, and he gets a good gain on first down of about 4 yards as the Crusaders getting into a rhythm in their offense.
Well, Kevin just threw exactly, Larry. That was a rhythm pass. That was a timing pattern. You're going to see here in our instant replay that it's just a timing route. He throws that ball before his receiver even turns around. Throwing right on the money, into the wind. Nice catch. And they keep in formula. It's a 2nd and, about 5. And that's exactly what you want to be at on 2nd down.
Here comes Kevin Taylor, gives the ball, and a big play through the hole he goes as their fine running back, Sean Madrid, 5'8", busts through that hole and picks up the first down as the Crusaders march toward the goal line of the Comets here in an excellent football game. 21-6, the Comets lead it at Concordia Field.
Kevin Taylor doing a great job of mixing up his routes to different receivers now. He's dumping the ball off to several different guys. Now he's mixing the pass with the run. It's opening the running game up now. Concordia is trying to stay with these routes, and now it opens up between the tackles. You can see they're spreading their defense a little bit.
Correction on the play, that was not a first down. It's actually a 3rd and about a 1.5 feet, and a timeout is called on the field. Concordia with a 21-6 lead. The Crusaders on the march. They scored the last touchdown after the Comets scored 3 touchdowns, 2 in the first quarter, 14-0 they led after 1. Then they added to it on the second play of the second quarter on the 92-yard run by Eric Shuddy to get a 21-0 lead. But then the Crusaders come right back, and here they are again as they march near the goal line with a 3rd down play of the Comets.
Yes, and one thing, Larry, that may come back to haunt them is that they missed their extra point. And as well as they're moving the ball and whatnot, they're going to have to deal with that later. They came up short on their extra point attempt into that wind down there. And it's 21-6. It would have been a tie ball game had they made their extra point, it could conceivably tie the ball game up with 2 more scores, and here they're knocking at the door. But I think it may come back to haunt them.
The Comets head coach Tom Cross in his 11th year told me he was concerned about his defense, especially on pass, against the pass, I should say. And there's a handoff inside, and he bams inside for an apparent first down.
I think he got it.
Yes, on a beautiful fake handoff inside. They sent their star wide receiver Scott Lanson in motion left, and the Crusaders march to a first down.
Well, you can see here on our replay, Sean Madrid, number 5, getting the carry. Picks up the big first down. He's 5'8", 210 pounds. That's a big man at 5'8".
And they have the ball near the 10-yard line. And a handoff again to him. And the Comets defense meets them at about the 10-yard line as they try and hold off this attempt by the Crusaders to cut into this lead.
Well, they're doing a great job of mixing things up. It's a little of the run, a little of the pass, and now they don't even know who's going to get the ball. He's mixing it up a little bit, and I'm impressed with the quarterbacking of Kevin Taylor at this point. He's just done a great job, I think. He's had a mistake or two, but he's kept his poise. He's stayed right in there, and now his team is knocking at the door. This will be a ball game if they can score before the half again, Larry.
Yes, a lot of time to play here. 7 minutes and 50 seconds. He drops back and throws across the middle, complete to the tight end inside the 5-yard line. And as you mentioned, he's warming to the occasion as he throws the ball inside to Drew Collins, the junior tight end. He's 6'2", 210
We have a chance.
pounds.
We have a chance for the viewers at home to watch the protection by that good offensive line and the delivery of Kevin Taylor stepping up in the pocket, delivering on the money again, and they're knocking at the door, as we say in the business.
And they're marching against this heavy wind that's coming from the south. There's a throw out in the flat. It's a touchdown.
And there you have it, Larry. They're right back in this ball game, and with an extra point, they may go for 2 here to make up for the one that they missed last time. They may go for the 2-point conversion. Who knows? I see the kicker coming out, though.
Kevin Taylor with his second touchdown pass of the game. This 6'3" freshman came in here with some big numbers, and he's been quite impressive.
I'll tell you what, Larry, they are going to go for 2. They're going to try and make up for that missed extra point off their first touchdown, which I think is a wise move. We had some movement on the right side.
He throws the pass that's incomplete, so now does the flag negate the play? We'll find out here.
I think that they'll get that over again. It looked like encroachment on the Concordia University side of the field. And it is indicated that way.
Boy, 2 explosive offenses going at it here in the capital city, in the Midway. And let's see what the officials rule here.
We have a chance for you people at home to see that protection once more, and a great throw. He's really stepping in rhythm. His receivers are breaking their route off properly, and that was a beautiful touchdown pass by Kevin Taylor. And this is a ball game.
Yes, we've got a good one.
Should be interesting to see if they can convert here. This 2-point conversion means everything right now to Maranatha College.
The officials seem to be in discussion on whether or not they're going to allow Maranatha a replay or give the Comets the benefit by saying that the play was incomplete. And because the penalty is against Maranatha, the Crusaders, we're going to get a decision here. Which way are they going to go on this play, Mr. Morris?
Well, I think it's going to go against Concordia for sure. I saw some encroachment on the right side as you're looking at the defense.
And that should
and I would think that would move the ball closer, wouldn't it?
Well, actually,
it looks as
yes,
it has been spotted at the 1-yard line, so it was moved up a yard.
Okay.
And so they will have a replay of down for the 2-point conversion if they pick it up.
And they go on a quick snap and they hand it off inside and they get the 2-point conversion.
Larry, that was really big. That penalty was huge too. Instead of going from 2 yards out, they went from 1, and that made that dive play work.
And they give it to the big fullback, 235-pound senior Chris Leopard.
He's
with
all
the
of that.
conversion.
And you can see he gets off the ball pretty well, and he's low and he's nasty. 234 pounds. The big senior fullback rumbles in for the 2-point conversion. And Larry, I'll tell you, this is going to be very interesting in the second half when the wind starts to come into play for the other team and they reverse this around again.
Yeah, you're right. Coach Tom Cross has got to be a little concerned about the fact that his team came out here with a lot of emotion. This is a big game. This is the best start that Concordia has had since 1988. And boy, did they start this game well, 21-0. But all of a sudden, the Crusaders have come battling back. 21-14, 7:08 to play here in the second quarter. Mike, how long can you sustain that kind of an emotion in a football game?
Momentum plays a big part of the game of football, Larry, and as we have seen here this afternoon, as this quarterback from Maranatha has gotten into his groove, things have really started to change. Special teams also are playing a big part in this thing. And you can see that he hit that ball pretty well into the wind, and they're going to tackle him on about the 30-yard line, 31-yard line, and that's pretty good for what they have to kick into. You remember when Concordia was kicking off from this side of the field that they were getting out to about the 40, the 41-yard line. So
right.
Special teams, I think you'd have to give Maranatha the edge on that one so far.
It's a third of the game, and it's very, very important, as you well know.
You hear people talk about it. Some people may believe in what they're saying, but it really is, and some people don't. But it is a third of the game, and it's going to hold up here this afternoon in this win. You're going to see that.
Well, we saw it last week in your game. A missed kick led to an opportunity for the Vikings to come back and win it dramatically in the final seconds. Here's the handoff to Shuddy. He tried to get outside left, and he is met by the defense of the Maranatha Crusaders. Excellent play by Jesse Blom as the strong safety comes up and makes the tackle.
Larry, they're going to try that corner again. You're going to see the lead back come up and make a nice block. And Eric Shuddy gets run out of bounds and slung down like a rag doll out of bounds.
Pretty good play by the freshman Jesse Blom on the play. Second down play for Concordia. Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris, and Kwame McDonald with him. Campbell drops back and he throws the ball, puts some air on it. He goes down deep, and the pass is caught on the sideline. Oh, they rule incomplete. Oh my, we got a little debate on that play, Mr. Morris, right under us here.
Unbelievable. It looks like it's coming back. I have no idea what the call was. I think they ruled it out of bounds. I would tend to differ with that. I saw it.
An excellent touch pass as he threw the ball with the benefit of the wind.
I'm
and
hoping
the wide
we can see
receiver,
this.
Jesse
Furby, he does have a foot in bounds.
He can't believe it.
You know, I think he gets 2 feet down, Larry, and he did have control of the ball, but I think they saw it as not having control of the ball before he slid out of bounds. And I'm not sure about that. Incidentally, Eric Shuddy sets a new individual longest running record. It was 89 by Leroy McBrayer, set back in 1978. But Eric Shuddy's 92-yard run has beat that one by.
Dustin Campbell goes right back to his wide receiver, Furby. He caught it over the middle, and boy, did he get hit by number 13, Nathan Taylor. But it's a first down for the Crusaders, or rather for the Comets of Concordia.
I think that Nathan Taylor took the worst end of that blow, Larry. He comes up to try to stop the wide receiver, and he rings his own bell, it looks like.
Yeah, that was
a pretty good shot.
That was quite a collision there at about the 44-yard line.
Nathan Taylor, the 6'1", 210 sophomore, comes up tough, makes the stop on Jesse Furby, and pays the price, actually. He sticks his headgear in there and ding dong.
Wow. I tell you, this is
somebody stop that ringing in my head.
And we're going to get to look at this again here, Mike Morris. Tell us what happened.
Well, he drops his head. That's kind of a no-no in football. You want to see what you hit and hit what you see. And you want to keep your head up, because if you hit on top of the crown, you're liable to do something to your neck, or might whiff too, for that matter. You want to see what you're hitting. But that time he got. It's funny how the neck can bend though. He looks like he's up and he's all right, Larry, and that's good. It's always nice to see him get up and walk off. But very dangerous way to hit with the top of your helmet. You'll see right here the way he drops in there.
Is that called leading with the crown?
That's leading with the headgear, and that's also called, well, it's not spearing, but it's not exactly form tackling either. But it's just good to see that young man jump up and walk off the field healthy.
Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you. Here come the Comets offensively with a first down. They're at the 44-yard line, where Campbell's looked good in this game. And he hands the ball off inside to running back Ryan Anderson, sophomore. And he goes inside for a short gain. Knocked down by the middle of the Crusader defense.
Well, again, Larry, we see the dominance up front with this Concordia offensive line. It doesn't even matter which back right now. That was Ryan Anderson who carried that ball, and he found 5 yards. They've got some talent on this ball club.
They really do. And they're doing a good job as they lead at 21-14 with 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter of an excellent game. Campbell hands the ball off inside to his running back, number 35, cuts inside. Israel Olsen, he's the fullback, sophomore, 195 pounds, and he tried to break a tackle and he got nearer the 50-yard line, but it's going to bring up a third down play for the Comets.
He makes a nice move here, avoids one tackle for positive yardage. They've got some people that they can hand that ball off to now, and the big guys up front are doing a good job.
Get Kwame McDonald coming up at halftime with an excellent pair of interviews for you. As we bring you the homecoming of the Comets of Concordia. Throughout in the pass goes incomplete as Dustin Campbell, the sophomore quarterback, tried to hit his wide receiver Dawson Locke in the flat. It goes incomplete, and the Comets will have to punt. And they'll be aided by the wind here, Mr. Morris.
The punter will be aided by the wind, but the snapper will not be. He will be hampered by the wind. So let's just see what his delivery looks like on this.
No detail gets past Mr. Morris. He definitely watches out for those centers. Oh my, a huge gust goes through us here. And there's the kick by Schutte. He gets it high in the air, and it carries to about the 23-yard line, where it's grabbed by Scott Lanson, and he gets outside near his own sideline, and he is knocked out of bounds, and a flag follows at about the 35-yard line.
Looked like a late hit over there, Larry, on that far sideline. You'll see on our replay, Scott Lanson, a star receiver in this game, is also their punt return man, and he is out of bounds, and well, it was a whiff, but
yes, it was
I think he actually was taken out by his own player.
Exactly. The replay clearly shows that the guy that would have hit him missed him.
I guess they threw the flag on ill intent by the whiff. I did not pick up the number of the guy that flew through there, but he had every intention of blowing up Scott Lanson.
And then the penalty is against the Crusaders. So the penalty is called against the offensive team on a tackle out of bounds. And there's the march off. It's a here's the replay again for us.
Interesting. Oh,
wow.
They throw the flag on his own teammate.
Yeah, you can't hit your own players out of bounds, especially, right?
And that was Oz Price who took out Scott Lanson. Come on, Ozzy. What are you thinking about? Trying to cause trouble here.
Well, the Maranatha offense has been explosive. They scored the last 2 times they've had the football, and they start out with a run here with 3:55 to play in the second quarter. 21-14, the Comets of Concordia University clinging to a 7-point lead on a windy homecoming day here in the capital city of St. Paul. Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you.
Larry, Adam Schutte, the brother of Eric Schutte, said earlier down on the field to Kwame McDonald that the reason he intercepted the ball and was so gracious to allow himself to be tackled on the 1 yard line was so that his brother could carry the ball in on the next play.
Let's call it all in the family.
That's just being a team player there. Wanting your older brother before he graduates from college to pad his stats, his touchdown scoring stats.
He's had 2 here today.
He's had 2 today, and Adam, I think that's very commendable. Very commendable. You're an outstanding young man, a team player in every sense of the word.
Kevin Taylor tried to pass out in the flat. It goes incomplete. 3rd down and 7 for the Crusaders, who are trying to even this game up here. It's 21-14. They have been explosive, scoring on their last 2 offensive series. And he drops right back in the pocket and hands off inside and up the middle on a beautiful running play. They give the ball to running back John Nordstrom. And boy, he made an excellent run up the middle, broke a tackle, and gets a 1st down on a 3rd and 7. A little surprise there, Mr. Morris.
Well,
instead of throwing, they're running.
That's what happens when they start respecting that passing attack. And Kevin Taylor has been on a roll here just lately. In fact, we might just rename him Butter because he is on a roll. But he opens up for the running game. So they drop back, they show pass, and they hand the ball off on a little draw, and it works quite well.
And here we go. He hands it off again inside. They give it to Sean Madrid, the junior running back, 210. And boy, did he get met by the defense of the Comets, who come up big on that play. Cedric Ellis made the play.
Kevin Taylor handing the ball off, then throwing the ball, then a little draw. I really like the way this Maranatha College has coordinated their offense. A little of everything.
2nd and 11 on the play. Here we go. Nathan Taylor drops back in the pocket. He gets away from pressure, and he tries to run outside, and he is brought down by the hustling defense of the Comets. Lucas Woodford made the play as he scrambled and caught up with the quarterback and didn't allow him to get outside for any sizable gain.
That time, Maranatha goes with a fake draw. And you can see Kevin Taylor hustling to the outside, trying to get down, trying to protect himself. He's the quarterback on that team, and he knows for the good of the team, he ought to be on the ground, safe at home.
2 minutes and 5 seconds to play here in the 1st half. We have a stoppage of play on the field. If you just joined us, Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris, Kwame McDonald with you on SPNN on a beautiful college Saturday. Special thanks to Brugger's Bakery and Concordia University for your contributions with this broadcast. We would not be with you without their generous support and backing. 2:05 to play. The ball's on about the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 12 to go. It's been an offensive showcase here in the 1st half. We anticipated that. And Nathan Taylor leads his offensive team to the line of scrimmage with 2 wide receivers flanked right and left. He drops right back in the pocket, rolls to his right, looks, and throws, and it's complete on the sideline. And apparently it will be enough for a 1st down, and it stops the clock with just under 2 minutes to play as the Crusaders get a 1st down. My apologies. That is not enough for a 1st down. It's 4th down and 5. Very short. Marker listed in the wrong position. Here's the snap on the kick, and a ball that goes outside the wind really affects it and pushes it, and it's grabbed at about the 35-yard line. Where
Larry,
the tackle is made by the Crusaders.
We have several sets of brothers playing in today's game.
That's correct.
Sort of unusual, but From Mayer Lutheran High School, we have number 39, Eric, and number 47, Adam Shuddy, who have been stars in this game so far, the sons of Susan Shuddy. Also from Mayer Lutheran High is Matt Woodford, number 42, the son of Doug and Lucille Woodford.
Come the Comets offensively. And give the ball to Eric Shuddy, and he is not out of bounds, and he is going to lose 3 yards on the play.
His brother is also playing in the game. Lucas Woodford is in this ball game also, number 1. We've seen him come up and make a nice hit already today also to force a fumble. From Winstead Holy Trinity, the Comets have number 38, Aaron Newman, and his brother number 81, Nick Newman, the sons of Doug and Nancy Newman. Aaron works in our equipment room with the Minnesota Vikings. He's quite a character. And I'm not even going to go into that. But let's just say if he continues to be a character, I'll be taping him to a bench somewhere in the weight room. Also from Winstead Holy Trinity are Mark Heiser, number 65, and his brother Nate Heiser, the son of Wayne and Margaret Heiser.
And here's the play. Quarterback drops back in the pocket. He finds the receiver on the sideline, and he's got it for a first down. Sean Kuykendall. And he gets away, breaks a tackle, and runs for more. And he's close to the 45-yard line. And a first down for the Comets. As they try to add to their lead with 1 minute and 37 seconds to play.
Here you have a chance to see on our instant replay his delivery with the wind. Much easier, I must say, than going into it.
Dustin Campbell drops right back and throws the pass. That is knocked down by Sean Applegate, the big 6'4", 220-pound senior defensive end for the Crusaders. Boy, he had it right in his hands.
Almost picked it off, Larry. That was very close to being picked off, and that might have been a chore hauling that big guy down.
And it stops the clock with 1 minute and 20 seconds, 1 minute and 26 seconds to play. Ball on the 46-yard line, second down and 10. Comets lead at 21-14. They would love to add to their lead, and to, on top of that, Mike Morris, get some momentum going into the locker room.
They could actually use it. They've been a little quiet here just lately.
And there's a deep pass that goes out of bounds as they throw the blitz at Dustin Campbell, and he recognized it and was able to escape the pressure and throw the ball deep and out of bounds and reload on a 3rd down and 10 play. There will be no interviews today, I'm told, at halftime due to technical difficulties that we're having with the wind.
Well, it's not hard to understand that the wind might be a problem in some of the truck duties down there. There's no question about that. It is very windy here this afternoon.
There's a handoff inside to Ryan Anderson, and he busts across the 40-yard line where he is knocked down by Nathan Turner.
And he just ran flat over Troy Campbell, Larry.
Oh, my.
He ducks his shoulder, and Troy Campbell takes the brunt of the load, and I'm sure he rolled over and tried to get the license plate number of that truck, but...
Big crowd on hand here this afternoon. They've been quite supportive of their Comets, who are off to the best start they've had here in almost a decade.
No question, this team has got some talent. Oh, we have an offensive lineman jumping off sides over there of the big tackle.
Oh my, that really hurts you in a 4th and 1 situation with just seconds to play in the half, and you get a 5-yard penalty, and let's see if that changes the thinking of Coach Tom Cross in his 11th season, going for it on 4th down.
Andrew Fleshman getting a little anxious to take off on that run block. I'm sure it would have been on 4th and 1. 6'3", 270 pounds.
Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Morris with you, and a good one here. A border battle between the Comets and Crusaders. Maranatha, and there's another flag on the play, or throw out in the flat that goes incomplete. No flag.
No flag on that one. I thought they might get it back.
A flag there. But no flag is called. It goes incomplete, so the Crusaders will get the football with just 14 seconds to play, and I got a feeling we might see a couple of Hail Marys here, Mr. Morris.
This might be the one where where they put three receivers out to the right or left, student body right or left as we call it, and just throw that ball up and see what happens. I don't know if you can do that in this kind of wind or not. That would be that'd be a tough call. They might just sit on the doggone thing.
And here's his play. Quarterback throws out in the flat to his wide receiver, and a short gain out in the flat as Seth Spate grabs the football thrown to him by the freshman who has been quite impressive here, the quarterback Nathan Taylor for Maranatha.
There you see Coach Tom Cross of the Concordia University squad. Very instrumental in bringing this program together. 11-year tenure. Doing a great job with Concordia. Off to a 4-2 start, 3-0 in the conference. Outstanding job by Coach Cross.
And the quarterback Taylor drops back in the pocket, and he's sacked on the play. And a hustling defensive play by big number 79, Travis Bush. And that ends the first half on a positive note for the Comets defensively, who did a terrific job here in taking a 21-14 lead in a game that is all important for them in the conference play.
Well, they need to get back inside. Concordia needs to regroup, I think, and come back out here and figure out what they should do with Kevin Taylor. I think the defense is probably going to have to shore it up a little bit on that passing game, because Kevin Taylor has had his way in that second quarter and gotten this Maranatha College back in the football game.
Yeah, we're going to have a terrific second half if it's anything like the first half of this game. The halftime band performing here today will be the Marching Knights of Irondale High School. And boy, are they excited to get out here and perform. And
Larry, I just hope that you and I aren't blown right out of this press box before that happens.
I'll tell you something. You better have, if you're wearing a hat today, it better be very close to your ears, right? Because it is awfully windy. I would bet we've got 30-mile-an-hour winds here today.
I would guess so.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen a rare one today, a first. I've never seen it before. But
penalty.
I guess if you watch football enough, Mike, you'll see just about anything. A player tackles his own player out of bounds and is penalized for it.
Here we see Scott Lanzin heading for the sideline. And nice tackle by teammate number 2, Ozzie Price. But, however, on that play, on that exact play, the penalty flag was thrown on Concordia University. And so, again, football never ceases to amaze me, Larry. You'll see anything in this game, especially on the special team side of it.
Okay, we're going to go now to an interview that Rachel has for us. Rachel, take it away.
Okay, well, we want to find out what else is happening here at Concordia University, so I'm here with the athletic director, Dan O'Brien. What's coming up here the rest of the fall season?
Oh, we've got a great fall plan. We're going to finish with our football season. We're right in the title hunt for that. And also we've got cross country going on. We've got volleyball and men's and women's soccer that we'll wrap up here within the next month.
Okay, sounds real exciting. So you've got some great fans out here. Are you responsible for that?
No, I'm not. That's kind of our school and our facility. With Tom Auer, he set this up today, and Tom Cross does a great job promoting our football program, and we're real excited with the success of the team this year, and that's kind of what we think is bringing our fans out today.
Okay, well, I'm supposed to embarrass you here today, so can you recite the school song, please?
No, I can't, but I do know that it is the Wisconsin Rouser. Is it the Wisconsin Rouser?
You're asking me. Okay, well, take it away. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris with you, and we are happy to be with you on a very gusty, windy afternoon. The temperature hanging around 65 degrees, I would guess, but it's quite windy, and it's made it very, very tough to keep papers on tables. But an excellent football game we've had here in the first half, 21-14, as the Comets of Concordia University lead the Crusaders of Maranatha in a real border battle in what has been an excellent football game here in the first half, Mr. Morris.
Larry, it was a game of turnovers in the first quarter. We saw 5, in fact, in the first quarter, with Concordia taking advantage of theirs. And then the game switched a little bit. The momentum changed, and then quarterback Kevin Taylor came on strong, and back in the ball game came Maranatha. They put 2 touchdowns up on the board, made a crucial 2-point conversion, and the score is 21-14. And Larry, if you'd like some Scotch tape to tape down your paperwork or yourself, I need some tape. This is the first time I've wanted to be taped. We're going to go down on the field now with Rachel, with the cross-country coach from Concordia. Rachel, are you there?
Take it away, Rachel.
Okay, cross country is a big sport at Concordia University too, and of course here's the head coach of cross country, Brian Schmidt. So how's your season been so far, Brian?
It's been going great. The women's team is off to a fantastic start. We are 4th place up at University of Minnesota Duluth in about a 15-team invitational, so they did real well there. Then we went down to Concordia Mequon, where we won the whole thing. There were about 12 teams there, and the men's team is more in a developmental stage right now, and we placed 4th down in Mequon. That was our best finish, but we're really looking towards the conference meet a little later in the month.
Okay, so you do both men's and women's cross country.
Right.
Okay, well, who are your key players, or what are the strengths of your teams?
Right now on the men's side, I got a senior captain, Alex Payne from Iowa, and he's really our lead runner and the motivation on our team. And he's got a real good chance of winning the individual conference championship later on the 24th. But on the women's side, we got more of a pack going. It's led by Carrie Breitkreitz, who's a sophomore out of Alexandria, Minnesota. But really, we have a nice group of freshmen in there, and including a junior, Melissa Bisey, who is also running in that front pack. So really, on the women's side, we got a nice lead pack, and they're all very young, so we should have it for a while.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Now for your embarrassing moment, I've already heard you sing the school song, and we don't want to do that to the people. No. So you're supposed to do what? Go?
No. I ain't
Oh, come on. Where's your school
I want to do something here, though.
Okay,
I do
go
want
ahead.
to tell you, everybody, about we have hosting the conference meet. It's going to be October 18th, October 24th, which is a Friday night. It's going to be up at Highland Golf Course, and we start at 4:30. So we're hosting the conference every 4 years. We get to host it. Women got an excellent chance of winning, and like I said, Alex Payne has an excellent chance of winning the individual title. So hopefully everybody will come on and join us there.
Okay, well, how about...
I ain't going to
So
sing.
Wendy here,
Don't even ask.
go cross country!
All right, go cross country, go Comets.
Okay, thanks. Okay, this is Liz Perryman, and you're the coach of the volleyball team at Concordia University.
Yes, I am.
And you're in the middle of your season right now?
Yep, we're 13-11. Starting now, we'll be starting the second round of conference play, which we are still in content for a championship for.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about how your team's doing so far this season?
Pretty good. We've played some up and down. We haven't had one match yet where everybody's played their best, so I think when that happens, we'll be very untouchable.
Okay, and what do you do to motivate your team and get them going?
Try to inspire them with some spiritual talk and other quotes from some great players around the world.
Well, that sounds really wonderful. You should be a philosophy teacher here.
All right.
Okay, well, say Tom Cross, the head football coach of the university here, is like really into embarrassing the other coaches here because, you know, he's on the line today. So he wants you to show some of your volleyball talent here. In fact, here he goes right now. Here comes the ball. You ready? Here it comes. Good job. What talent. Well, thanks a lot, Liz.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, as we're making our way around Concordia University campus here, I've got another person to introduce to you. This is Li Pao Zhang, and I understand that you are in a new position here at Concordia College. You want to tell us what that is and what it's about?
Sure. This is my 4th week on the job, and this is a new position. And Concordia believes in being a part of the community. You know.
Okay. What's the name of your position?
The Director of Government and Community Relations.
Okay.
And it is important for us as an institution to be integral part of the community. I mean, we have a very diverse community here, and we believe in service learning. And that means that learning just does not just take place in the classrooms, it takes place in the community. And how do we build bridges with the community, with our student population, and how do we get the community to utilize the resources that we have here? And so my responsibility is to work closely with the community and government institutions and say that, you know, we are here and we can help and we need your help in educating our student population.
Okay, and we're out here today for the big homecoming game. What is your role in athletics here on the university?
Well, I tell you, it's not so much as athletic. I was responsible for organizing the parade this morning, and we had a parade that, more or less a procession, because parade people stand outside and watch. And a procession, everyone's in there. And we winded through the community, through the Lexham community, and it was a joint effort between the community and Concordia, and basically pulling everybody out here and celebrating all day.
Okay, well, thanks a lot and good luck to you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm here with the women's soccer coach for Concordia. This is Nikki Epperson. And I understand you have a relatively new program here with women's soccer.
Yes, we do. It's this is the third year right now, and we're definitely in a rebuilding process in the developmental stages of the soccer program. So we only have positive things to look forward to.
Okay, well, how long have you been the coach here?
This is my first year, so I'm stepping in and trying to make a difference with the program.
Okay, what are some of the challenges being a first-year coach? That's got to be a tough situation.
Yeah, definitely, because this is my first year of even college coaching. So some of the challenges, I guess, would be there was very little recruiting done when I came in here, so that's definitely something I'm going to need to work on. We have very few players. We only have one sub. All the women are new. Practically, we have 2 returners, and other than that, everybody else has played very little soccer, so everybody's really new, and it's a new program, so we got to look forward to the upcoming years.
Well, it sounds like you have a positive attitude about it. What are you doing to pass that energy on to your players?
Well, I try and keep them motivated as well as myself, so I try and have a positive attitude in the games and let them know that, you know, you have to start somewhere. You have to start at a baseline, and you can only work up from there.
Well, it sounds wonderful. It sounds like you're doing a really good job. And now we're here for the big homecoming game, and what are we going to do to show our school spirit?
We're going to cheer.
Okay, cheer!
Go Comets!
There you have it. We're here with Dustin Campbell, the quarterback for Concordia University. We had a chance to meet with him before this big homecoming game. So are you psyched for the game?
Yeah, I think we're ready. We've had a great season so far, and you know they're doing well also, so it'll be a good matchup.
Okay, Dustin, where are you from?
Issaquah, Washington.
Okay, how do you like it here at Concordia?
I like it a lot. People are real nice here, and they've been real accommodating for me, and met a lot of people, a lot of nice people through the football program and everything, and it's been a good experience.
Hey, how do you feel about your season so far this year?
It's been a lot of fun. We've been able to surprise some people and get after it a little bit, so we're having a real good season, I think.
Okay, and since we're doing this interview before the game, what's your prediction for halftime score?
I don't really make predictions, but hopefully if everything goes well, we'll be having a good time, and we'll be ahead at halftime.
Okay, well, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, really high.
Yeah, what's up? Just unplug it. Wait, whoa. Plug it real quick. All right. Outside. Thank you.
Here's the volume right here. There you go. See what you get now.
We're here with the man behind the ball club. This is Tom Cross, who is the head coach for Concordia University Comets. Tell us about your team this year, your season. How are you doing so far this year?
Well, Rachel, we've really had a positive season so far. We're 4-2 in the 4-2 overall, 3-0 in the conference. This is a gigantic game for us today, and we're looking forward to great things. And we have a young team, but they've really grown, and I've really been happy so far.
You do have a young team. In fact, your quarterback is a sophomore. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. Dustin Campbell's a sophomore. Our whole offensive line is freshman and sophomore. We do have some key seniors in Eric Shuddy, number 39. He's the leading scorer in the conference. And on defense, Lucas Woodford, a defensive tackle, number 1, has had a fabulous year also, and those two are co-captains. So we do have a sprinkle of upperclassmen, but we do have a large amount of young underclassmen also.
Okay, well, you kind of mentioned some strengths and challenges here. What other strengths do you have for your team?
Well, this year we've been able to put points up on the board, which has been very, very positive, and we've built off that as a team. Defensively, we've kind of had the bend but don't break theory. We've turned the ball over favorably a few times and been able to put some points on the board in that way also. So that's been real good, and the team has really played with a lot of enthusiasm this year, and it's been real positive.
Okay, what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge the rest of the season?
Well, today's matchup is unbelievable. Maranatha has outstanding overall team speed. They play very aggressively on defense, and they have great scoring power. So it's a great, great challenge today, and we're going to have to play very well to win today.
What are your hopes for the rest of the season?
Well, we have 3 games remaining. We play Mount Scenario in Ladysmith, Wisconsin next week, and then we finish up in the Metrodome on Friday night, the 24th of October, against our arch rival Northwestern. So those are all 3 key games, and really could take our season to a new level this year.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've been doing a good job, and I know you've done a lot of behind-the-scenes coordinating for this big day, this big event, the television coverage as well as for the football game. So thank you so much for all your work, and does it feel good to have this almost done?
Yeah, well, we're excited about SPNN being here and showing off our university a little bit today, and hope it'll go great.
Okay, and what's your school spirit call?
Go Comets!
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Plug it real quick.
We've got a kick contest upcoming.
You know, this is a far cry, Larry, from the Ford pass, punt, and kick contest that I used to participate in as a youth. We have a gentleman down here holding the ball in a pair of overall suspenders, and we have what appears to be some Concordia students taking their turns at making field goals down here. Now, Eddie Murray, I only wish he was down here to view this.
Yes. Wow.
We have just been told by our technicians that this.
Let me go. I gotta go get in line.
Larry's running downstairs to get in line. The winner of this contest receives $1,000, and you can see some of the competitors here on your and there's the holder. There's our holder today. He even came complete with a towel to keep his hands nice and clean and dry to be able to hold properly for those people. There was $1,000 at stake. The stands are full here at Concordia University. The Comets are ahead 21-14. We've seen some pretty outstanding things here out of both quarterbacks, and big Eric Schutte today, who has set a new record on a 92-yard run, the longest run in Concordia University history, breaking the 89-yard run set back in 1978. So a long-standing record comes crashing today as Eric Schutte scoots for 92 yards and a touchdown.
He came into today's game, Mike, averaging 3.4 yards per pop, so he really helped his average with that 92-yarder, didn't he?
Yeah, that's got to do an average pretty good, 92 yards. Yeah, he'll probably average. In fact, we see where he's carried the ball 15 times a day for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dustin Campbell is 6 of 13 yards passing this afternoon for 73 yards and a touchdown. No INTs. Jesse Furbear has caught 5 balls for 50 yards and a touchdown. Maranatha came back, though, on the arm of Kevin Taylor. He was 11 for 16 for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, also 2 very costly interceptions. His main man seems to be Scott Lanson. He's got 4 catches for 112 yards already and a touchdown. And Seth Spate has also caught 4 catches for the Crusaders for 44 yards. And they really came on strong, Larry, there in that second quarter. And Concordia now has the unenviable task of kicking off into this win, and if it goes anything like the first half, this ball will only reach about the 25-yard line would be my prediction, and then the return out to about the 40. They had a little trouble getting the ball up in the air off the tee here, so we'll watch as I think they may have changed kickers too.
And there it is to kick off the third quarter and second half of this game. The Crusaders try to get the football and move across the 40, but they come up short at about the 33-yard line. As
predicted.
Yes.
It was kicked to the 25-yard line, returned to the 34. And
John Nordstrom on the return for the Crusaders, who actually scored the last 14 points of the first half after trailing 21-0 in this game. The Comets on the right side of both the scoreboard, they're leading by 7, and as well the turnover ratio, which, as you know, Mike, is very important, 3-2. And they come out with a run, a ground right tackle, and boy, what a impressive play, showing some excellent speed as he turned the corner. John Nordstrom, the junior tailback, picked up a sizable gain on first down as he came up and ran around the corner for a big gain.
We have a nice replay here to show you. The lead back gets a nice block, kicks out that contained man, and number 32 rumbles and stumbles and then runs right over number 26 there on the play. That's Sean Fondeau, and he was turned into fondue on that one.
He picked up 7 on that play. And here's the play. Quarterback drops back in the pocket. He's rushed out of the pocket and throws deep into coverage, however, and the ball is knocked down. It goes incomplete. Pressure was applied on defense by Lucas Woodford, who came up and definitely made Kevin Taylor throw that ball a little quicker than he wanted to, Mike.
Indeed, Larry Fitzgerald. That was an ill-advised pass on the part of Kevin Taylor, rolling around the corner, throwing off balance, and he really probably should have just eaten that one because that one was nearly picked off.
Have we seen
that's not the way to get back in this ball game.
Have we seen the signs of the youth at that position? I mean, we got a sophomore going against a freshman at the quarterback position here today. Wow, what a pretty play. A fake handoff inside, and the Crusaders give the ball to their big back, John Nordstrom, and he runs for an apparent first down for the Crusaders.
We have a chance for everyone here at home to see this. The fake to the dive back, and then the pitch, and he gets to the corner, and
the Crusaders keep running into their own
they
players.
keep running into their own teammates. I think maybe they have more solo tackles against each other than Concordia has on them. May as well throw another penalty flag, the way I see it. It's only fair.
There's a blitz on the play, and there's a fumble on the play as well. And the ball is recovered by the Comets. Let's see what the officials rule. And they say it's a fumble. And the Comets come up with it on a blitz by number 1. Lucas Woodford comes up with a big play from his defensive tight end spot. And boy, look at this play. Actually, that's number 42, I should say. Matt Woodford made the play.
Right, Kevin Taylor rolls around the corner, and the other Woodford, number 42. That's Matt. We thought it was Lucas Woodford, who had one earlier in this game, but that was a fine play, and then recovered by, I believe, number 64. I thought made the recovery on that play, but it was a huge play for the Comets.
And the Comets come out trying to run the football. And Dustin Campbell gives the ball to his fine running back, record-setting running back, I might add, Eric Shuddy. And no gain on the play. Bring about a 2nd and 10 with 13:30 to play in the third quarter. 21-14, the Comets of Concordia University ahead of the Maranatha Crusaders. And there's a throw out in the flat to Shuddy, who cuts inside, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets inside the 40-yard line to about the 38 on a pretty play that he had to basically do it all on his own there, Mr. Morris.
Well, Eric Shuddy, we saw he can go inside, as we saw in our instant replay from before, and now he gets a little pass out to the side, and we'll get a chance to see that one here also. He sets, he plants. The big man is out there in the flats. What are they doing him wide, leaving him wide open like that for? I have no idea, but soft hands, once again, by Eric Shuddy. And he turns it north and heads for some positive yardage.
He's got deceptive speed, doesn't he?
Actually, we were able to see that on that 92-yard run. He was able to maintain some cushion between the defensive backs that were chasing him. I was impressed with that.
Here comes Dustin Campbell bringing his offense to the line and throwing out in the flat to his wide receiver, Furby, and he made an excellent play as he stretched out and made that grab. Jesse Furby, the wide receiver, a senior, he's only 6 foot, 170 pounds, but he used all of that to stretch out to get that football, Mike.
Yeah, Jesse's having a great day today. I think that's his 6th catch today. Got some great hands. He also is a very punishing receiver. We saw him lay out a tackler in the first half. Number 13 had come up and laid the wood to him, but the chimes were being played by the defender, so he's a pretty physical guy too.
There's a flag on the play before the interception on defense by Nathan Taylor, who's off to the races. There are flags all over the place. That was a first down on the play prior, and illegal procedure against the Comets of Concordia, who lead at 21-14, and they are inside they were inside the 40-yard line before this penalty. That'll take them back close to the 40-yard line with a 1st and almost 15.
Well, they've proven they can move the ball pretty effectively, and most of the time into the wind.
Yes.
They prefer the wind.
Correct.
So as long as they can continue to do that, I think we'll...
There's a motion play, and he throws it to the motion man. And boy, did he get hit. Sean Kuykendall on the reception. He's knocked down by number 50, Steve Perdue, junior linebacker, made the play.
Well, there's that same thing that we saw out there to to the flats to Eric Shuddy. This time it goes to Sean. And they're mixing it up pretty good here, Larry.
They are.
And they're using up a lot of the clock, and that's kind of what you want to do in a ball game like this, where the weather can be a factor.
Excuse me, it's almost like they're trying to set up something. They've been working on this left side here the last few plays. And there's a drop back in the pocket, throws over the middle, and there it is. As Dustin Campbell faked inside and threw over the middle to Brent Roney. And he comes up with the reception.
It was a nice catch. Our quarterback gets punished here at the end of this play also. And there you can see it. But it was a nice pass laid right in there where it had to be, right in the numbers. Fine catch made. And Concordia is on a roll to lead off here in the third quarter. They're doing a nice job. They're moving the ball very effectively on the ground, in the air.
They've had it.
So they have had a chance to regroup and apparently make some very effective adjustments.
And here they go. They give it to their man, Shuddy, and he cuts inside and picks up about 3.5, maybe 4 yards on the play.
If you're an offensive lineman, you'll take that every time. 3.5 yards.
That's enough for a first down as they move the chains and maintain possession. 21-14, the Comets lead it on a sunny but windy afternoon on the homecoming day.
You can see here, Larry, that
Concordia
offensive
University
line is just getting a great surge up front, and that gap opens, the crease is there, and Shuddy knows how to hit it. He'll take the ball and run it right up in there. He's not tiptoeing around now.
Here come the Comets. And a flag on the play before the snap. Let's see what the officials
May have taken too much time. I'm not sure, Larry.
Let's see. And I think that might be the case.
Spending a little too much time trying to send that play in for Concordia will cost them 5 yards. Very costly yards when you're talking red zone.
The men in blue go up to the line of scrimmage. Dustin Campbell looks at the defense, calls out the signal, has a motion man coming towards him for a bay, and he drops back, hands off up the shuttle. At the middle he goes. He gets outside, down the sideline, inside, touchdown!
Well, that's the start of the game. Eric Shuddy has just done all here this afternoon. He runs a 92-yarder distance, then he catches the ball from time to time, and now he scoots around the end and takes it the distance again. You're gonna have a chance to see that offensive line work here. And it is wide open. Gee, Larry, I think I could have probably gone through there. I mean, there's no problem. The big man's got some wheels, and he shows it here as he beats the defensive backfield to the end zone. And that is Eric Shuddy's third touchdown. Am I correct?
That's correct. 3 touchdowns, and now it's 28-14 with the conversion for the Concordia Comets as they take a sizable lead again. And what a pretty play that was, and terrific work, as you mentioned, up front. Got to give credit to the offensive line. Andy Fleischman and Ben Venice got some excellent blocks on that left side to open the door for Eric Shuddy's third touchdown today.
Well, that big man doesn't need a lot of room to run, but they really opened that thing wide open, and the result was a touchdown. And Eric Shuddy has got some speed. He's got to be 210 pounds. I'm swearing by that. And when he gets a little daylight, he knows how to use it.
Yes, sir. He certainly does. He's over 100 yards. He's approaching 150 in this game. He might break another record before this day is over the way he's going.
Yeah, he had 130 yards at half, Larry. He's got to be 150 now. He has to be. Now let's just see. They've got their other kicker in, their regular field goal kicker, Joel Arnold, the freshman kicker. He reaches the 25-yard line. It's out to the 40 though again, and that's been kind of the tough thing for them to try and get that ball stopped before the 40-yard line. But again, they're out to the 41. We'll see what Kevin Taylor and company can do now as they get the ball back, Larry.
Jesse Blom on the return, knocked down by number 52, Graham Johnson, a freshman linebacker, made an excellent play. And here come the Crusaders trying to tune their way back in this game. There's a throw out in the flat, complete to their main wide receiver, Scott Lanson, and he broke a tackle, made a nice move, and got inside midfield.
The protection holds up well, and Scott Lanson with some shake and bake. He's also their punt returner, so he can make a move after he catches the ball. He does there, and he picks up some extra yardage on the second effort. Been a very effective receiver here this afternoon. He and Kevin Taylor have been the dynamic duo of sorts.
Enough for a first down as they get a first down at the 48-yard line of the Comets. And the quarterback drops back again and throws out in the flat, and it's complete again to that man again, who is having a big day, Scott Lanson. And
that time, I think, Larry, he was tackled by a Concordia defender on the far sideline.
That's a first today on that sideline.
It was actually a Concordia defender that made the tackle, not one of the Crusaders this time. Scott Lanson is finding a way to get open, and and Kevin's finding him.
He really is, as the Crusaders, with their freshman quarterback, very impressed with him. Kevin Taylor, 11 of 16 in the first half.
That ball is put exactly where it has to be put, and he's making the throws, and they're making it's all just pitch and catch, just like in the backyard.
Boy, there's a handoff to Sean Madrid, but boy, the Comet defense, they smell that play out, and got to give a lot of credit to Matt Woodford, who led the defense on that play. They come across and knock him down for a loss on the play. They say 3rd and 3, 3rd and almost 4, with 8:55 to play. The Crusaders trying to march back into this game. 8:47 to play. Nathan Taylor throws out in the flat. The ball a little high, and defensively, Concordia's Sean Fondo makes the play as he knocked the ball away on a 3rd down and short, and that'll bring up a 4th down play.
Fondo just makes a great play on the ball. Unbelievable, he just makes a nice break on the ball. Great defense here. Plays him just right. Game of inches, and he gets up there and tips a nice piece of that ball away.
And there's the kick, a short kick carrying to about the, let's see where it goes here, and they're going to mark it out of bounds near the 15-yard line.
I tell you, this guy's been pretty tough. The punter for the Crusaders has done his job here this afternoon. He's put 2 of them out inside the 20-yard line very effectively, and forces the Comets to go 85 yards again into the wind.
Which they've done once.
And they've done several times, in fact. So maybe the wind has not been a factor, Larry. Maybe it's just up here high and nothing is down there on the field. Maybe it's only 20 feet in the air that it actually comes into play.
Here come the Comets. I should say the Comets with the football, and they give the ball to their running back. Their workhorse, I should say, who is really getting his work in today, senior running back Eric Shuddy.
Also proving he's very durable. He's had the ball 15 times already in the first half, and at least 5, I would say, in the 3rd period now. So he's really their go-to guy. He had a little trouble in the first quarter hanging on to the ball, but he's done very well since.
And they go on a quick snap and try to catch the Crusader defense before they get set, and they go off right tackle for a short gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Comets.
Here you have him, the star of the game so far, Eric Shuddy. Takes the handoff and blows right up through the middle. Sometimes you got to make your own hole. And if you're that big, you can do it pretty effectively, as he has this afternoon. Now he goes in motion. They're running that same play to him out on the flat now again. This one will not be a real big play for him, but they use him in every facet of the game. You can just see it developing. We saw him go in motion there that time, and I don't think they're going to fool anyone with that anymore, as they certainly were not fooled that time.
No way. And you would think that the Crusader defense, as they did on that particular play, would know that they've got to follow Eric Shuddy around because the ball is soon to follow.
Yeah, he goes out on the flat again to that little play we saw on their first possession.
There's a flag on the play before this punt attempt by Shuddy, who is in his own end zone. And as you know, Mr. Morris, you've been in this situation 1,000 times where you've got to snap the ball to your kicker, who is trying to kick it and not having the required distance. How much distance is required between center and the punter on a normal play? In this case, it doesn't look like they're going to have it because the ball is inside the 5-yard line.
He's crowded back for a little bit. He might get 15 yards out of this if he stands right on the back line. But we snap at 15 yards. We'll see how this guy comes out here. The crucial thing here is the snap.
And it's good. Almost blocked.
The protection broke down. They were very lucky to get the ball where they got it.
And the ball goes almost out of bounds. It is stopped by the Comets at about the 25-yard line. The Crusaders are going to be in business as they start on the 25-yard line. So their defense does the job. The special teams making itself seen here, as you mentioned early in the ball game. The Crusaders have had the edge in that area.
They really have. I think the special teams may be one of their strong points on this Crusader team, and we saw there on that punt. But they got a really good rush in on that. They know they got to get back in this football game and do it sometime soon, and they almost blocked that punt. And because he was under duress, Eric Shuddy was only able to get the ball out to about the 25-yard line. So they will have tremendous field position now.
Here's Nathan Taylor throwing back against the grain as he tried to roll out to his right, but he met the Comet defense in the person of Tim Flannery, who forced him to think again and throw the other way. Incomplete. It's a 2nd down and 10. The ball's at the 25. 6:16 to play here in the third quarter. If you just joined us, Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris, the most famous long snapper in the history of the National Football League, all-pro performer in that area. Any other teams you made in the last few years?
Well, you know, I've actually been on the Playboy preseason All-Pro team.
Oh, my, an interception and an excellent play by the Comets. And give credit where credit is due. Aaron Newman, defensive tackle, a senior, dropped back in coverage. And, boy, he read the eyes of the quarterback, the freshman Nathan Taylor.
We'll have a replay here. We see Kevin dropping back, and Aaron Newman, the guy I was talking about that hangs out in the Viking equipment room, picks up a play here from Eddie McDaniel and Jeff Brady and whatnot. But I think he actually lined up at linebacker there. He picks the ball off, and just a great play. They were in position to go in, off of the 26-yard line and score quickly there off of the bad punt. But, hey, Concordia, the Comets now with the ball, thanks to Aaron Newman.
And that is the 4th turnover, if I'm not mistaken, in this game by the Crusaders, who find themselves down by 2 touchdowns. And you got to say they really blew a golden opportunity there.
That really was, Larry. I mean, off the bad punt, they were sitting there on the 26-yard line, knocking at the door to get back in this ball game. Aaron Newman comes up huge with a big interception, and they come out smelling like a rose after that bad punt. It's their ball on the 20-yard line, and they got to like where they're sitting right now. There's a long ball up in the air right now, and the ball is going to come right back to the Crusaders. And just like that. But it was a long pass. It was almost like a punt of sorts.
Yes.
The ball was picked off on now the field position. We'll get a chance to see this on instant replay. He steps and throws long, looking for his favorite receiver, Jesse Furbear, and Troy Campbell picks that ball off nicely. And instead of being at the 26, now they're backed up and on the 50-yard line. Still a great field position.
And they hand the ball off to their big back, number 34, Chris Leopard, 6'1", 235-pound senior. And he rambles across midfield, and he gets up hurting. Looks like he hurt or sprained his ankle possibly, and he limps towards his sideline.
Looking a little gimpy there.
Yes.
The big fullback, 234 pounds, pulling up a little bit gimpy.
He picked up 3 yards on the play.
See if he can walk it off and come back in now.
Boy, he goes right to his back over there. He's in a lot of pain. Boy, that tells you a lot. He didn't cost him a timeout. He was able to get up even in pain and get to his sideline.
Well, that's the mark of a pretty tough ball player.
And there's a big play on the inside as they hand the ball off to Sean Madrid. And he rambles inside across the 40 down to about the 34-yard line. First down for the Crusaders, who are on the march.
We have an instant replay here. We can see the... Tell you what, that was a great run. I thought he faked to one of the backs and then handed off, but he just gives it to the first lead back through, and off he rolls. 20 yards with it.
And there's a pitch to number 32, the running back. And he tries to get outside, but he is met by Adam Shuddy, who makes the play.
The Shuddies are going crazy here, aren't they?
The DB comes up. He's already got 2 picks in this game, and he makes an excellent defensive play on first down to shut down the running attempt of John Nordstrom, I should say. Here come the Crusaders with a 2nd and 10, 3:40 to play here in the third quarter. 28-14, the Comets lead it. Oh, and a pass over the middle, complete to the tight end. And a beautiful throw by Nathan Taylor as he threw it in zone coverage over the outstretched arms of the linebacker, and he got his tight end, Drew Collins, for a first down.
That was a beautiful play. He read the defense just right and laid the ball over the top to his big tight end, who makes a beautiful catch and continues to run another 3 or 4 yards. And now here they are, right back in the red zone again where they were.
And they hand the ball inside, and there's a big run inside as he rambles down inside the defense of the Comets across the 10-yard line. And boy, I'll tell you something, Sean Madrid, he's having a pretty good day running the football himself.
Yeah, here's an instant replay, and you can see Sean gets the ball, and he tries for the corner, right off tackle, and there he goes, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and right over the top of number 3, Dwayne Palacio. And
that's another
they're
first
knocking.
down.
Here they are.
First and goal.
I'm telling you, this could be big.
I'll tell you, the Comets came up with that interception, and it looked like they had cooled off this Crusader team that started at the 25, but then they get the turnover, and here they go again. They hand off inside, or fake a handoff, and they run it inside the 5-yard line where the Comet defense comes up big to knock down the quarterback on the play. Nathan Taylor kept it. That'll bring up a 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line. He picked up a yard on the play. 2:25 left in the third quarter. Mike Morris, Larry Fitzgerald with you. Mike Morris of the Vikings. He's got a lot of work tomorrow as the Vikings take on Carolina. Here's a pitch on the outside. The Comet defense was ready for it. They were not fooled by the inside handoff there, Mike Morris.
Well, the Comet defense is tightened down here in the red zone. They're doing a real good job now of keeping this team out of that end zone. And that was number 13, Nathan Taylor with the pitch. It looked like from brother Kevin Taylor, I believe.
Boy, that's a big defensive play, a 4-yard loss on the play that bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the touchdown. They cannot get a first down. Ball's just outside the 10, where actually Kevin Taylor, I should say. Kevin Taylor throws out in the flat to his wide receiver, and it's caught. And boy, did he get knocked out of bounds at about the 4-yard line by Chris Maples, who really laid a lick on him over there.
That was
I should say Matt Wolford, the linebacker.
This is a nice pass. Stands in there. He knows he's going to get hit. He dumps the ball out. And Nick Hellstad makes a nice catch. Big, tall target, 6'3", 190-pound sophomore. Nice catch.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down. And I think that's the right decision. 1:26 to play.
I think at this point during the ball game, when you're down like this, Larry, you almost have to do this.
Here's Nathan Taylor. They hand off inside. He breaks a tackle and keeps going. Touchdown! On 4th down, the Crusaders march across the goal line on an inside handoff with second effort from Sean Madrid, and he gets in the end zone.
Very lucky.
Got a good one.
Actually, very lucky on the exchange. It looked like they almost ran into each other on the exchange here. Almost a costly, I'd like to, the handoff here between the quarterback and the fullback is just unbelievable. I don't know how he gets him the ball clean, but Sean Madrid does get the apple, and he gets it in the end zone. The snap
And the kick is
the
blocked.
kick has been blocked.
But it's picked up on the block, and he tries to get to the goal line, and he does not get there. So the kick is no good. It's blocked on defense by the Comets, who come up big and keep the margin of 8, 28-20, 1:12 to play. By the way, on that touchdown run, an excellent block by Jonathan Zelk, the big offensive guard for the Crusaders of Maranatha.
That was outstanding. Sean Madrid finding a way to get his hands on that ball. And Kevin Taylor somehow getting the ball to him. I have no idea how that happened, but you can see the block, a beautiful block thrown. This is actually the blocked extra point afterwards, and that's going to come back to haunt them again, Larry.
Yes.
They've missed 2 extra points here this afternoon, and now they're going to, if they score a touchdown again, they're going to have the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game.
Which they did earlier in the ball game to get the margin to 7.
But now they're going to have to do it again, and so it's going to be very interesting to see what comes of that extra point again.
So a big special teams play, I guess you could call it there, by the Comets on the attempted conversion. And here's the kick. It goes deep, and it's grabbed by number 20, Jason Music, and he comes out. And I'm sorry, he hands off to Sean Kayendike, and boy, he rambles and breaks a tackle, and Nicky Curtis across the field. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. He's going to score! And he dives into the end zone. The new fashion play to football.
How many yards
on a kickoff?
And how many yards did he run during the course of that play? He comes from the other side to take the handoff. It's a reverse on the kickoff. Return team, and they reverse the ball. He runs all the way to the other side of the field and then back and dives into the end zone. Sean Kuykendall, unbelievable run. I didn't know if he was going to get caught or not, but he made it the distance, and I bet that play covered 170 yards for that guy.
Boy, he really did it. Man, what a big play it was. 2 in a row now for the Comets, who stretched their lead to 14, and they'll try and add to it with this play here. And the kick is up and good.
It's up and it's good, and they make well on their extra point. And we're going to get a replay on that return. Now they hand off almost at the end, at the goal line, and then he makes a move here, and he's going to come over to the sideline, and then watch as he reverses
this tackle
and hits. And goes all the way to the other side of the field now.
Gets near the sideline.
He's pinched on the sideline here. Now he's going to make a move, and across he goes all the way to the other side.
And he changes the ball.
He's very careful to change the ball en route. And now he's going to dive into the end zone on the far side of the field.
You like that fashion play that players are doing nowadays? They dive across the end zone?
The Kevin Green special, made famous by former Carolina Panther Kevin Green, now with San Francisco. Oh, someone figure out how many yards that guy actually ran.
Wow, that had to be plus 90. A big play by the Comets as they get a touchdown on a kick return, and they take a 35-20 lead just after the Comets had blocked an extra point by the Crusaders, who had trimmed their margin to 8.
Incredible run. I didn't know if he'd have enough left to make it to the end zone, but he does do it.
There's a kick near the sideline, grabbed by the Crusaders, and number 41, Scott Lanton, and he rambles near his sideline, close to the 40, across the 40, in fact, at about the 41-yard line, and that's where the Crusaders will try and get back in this game. Nathan Taylor, the young freshman, or Kevin Taylor, I should say, will try and lead this team back in this game.
Well, he kicks that ball to the opposite side of the field this time. I think they were trying to kick it to an open spot on the field, but it's It's fielded clean. And back up the field he comes with it. And there's our guy again. I believe that is that's Scott Lanson again. And he fights for extra yardage.
There's the ball, handoff to the running back. Sean Madrid, who's working on a 100-yard game. He's been very impressive here this afternoon.
Larry, we have seen some enormous plays here this afternoon on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
But we've seen a kick returned 140 yards probably for the touchdown on a reverse. And here you're going to see Sean Madrid with the carry. And he has just picked up some really tough physical yards. There you see a real tough 6 or 7 yards the hard way.
And his second down play. As Nathan Taylor drops straight back in the pocket, looks across the middle and throws deep. He's got his receiver, and he's off to the races. He breaks a tackle, and he could score, and he does. What an excellent play. And a touchdown by the Crusaders as they come right back to their main man, Scott Lanson, on a touchdown hookup from Kevin Taylor.
Well, Larry, how big has this guy been here this afternoon after he catches the ball? You know, he's a great receiver. Some people have soft hands, and then some people have soft hands and moves afterwards. And this guy's pretty threatening after he catches the ball. He's also their punt and kick returner. We've seen him handle it everywhere.
Oh, my, what a pretty play on I guess you would call that a mini post pattern. And he caught it in coverage and scooted away, broke a tackle, and scored.
They elect to go for 2 points now, and it's not going to work, Larry.
Oh, sir.
It's not going to work. They stuff it, and that is key there for Concordia.
Matt Woodford again, who's having a big defensive day for the Comets, and another failed conversion by the Crusaders, who come back and answer the kickoff touchdown by the Comets with a touchdown of their own on a big play. And now the margin is 9, 35-26. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got a great one here at Concordia Field.
Well, it's a 9-point deficit, Larry. So they've got them by 2 scores now. They're going to have to score twice. And yes, those PATs are important, people. I've made a living at those. Young Eddie Murray, Fuad Reves, myself.
Fuad was in town this week.
Yes, I just saw him in the locker room, actually, before I came over to the game here. He's doing quite well, living in Tennessee. And he's in town.
He's still doing national radio,
still
right?
Working national radio with ESPN for the Spanish broadcast.
Fuad, always one of my favorite Vikings to be around. Always conversational. There's a kickoff. Grab near the 20-yard line, and on the return, he tries to get outside. Here come the Comets again. There's a flag on the play as he is knocked down near the 50-yard line. And he, being Jason Music, freshman running back, picked the kick up. And, boy, he really showed some athletic ability on that play.
He sure did. It was mishandled here. Now we have a fake handoff. They're going to fake the reverse, and then he kind of steps inside there, and the wall sets up real well. You can see some nice blocks. One may have been illegal. That's why it's being called back. But they have got some talent on this team. Brad Owen with a fine carry. And it'll come back. And the reason he probably got that far was because someone probably clipped or... And we have not seen, it was a clip, it was indicated a clip. And you'll see number 58 right here. You're going to see he pushes, or that's why the guy's on the ground there. He's already hit him. And that was the reason for that one being called back. But special teams playing a big part in this game, as in any game.
That amounted to about a 32-yard penalty. They had it about the 48-yard line, but
it makes a big difference. And now Concordia actually takes the lead, I think, in special teams production this afternoon. I think the Crusaders may have had it there for a while, but with that huge return that went the distance, and now with that one, they're proving that they can move the ball very effectively on the return squads also.
Yep, Sean Kuykendall with that major kickoff return where he ran basically across the entire field. And Mike says 170-yard play, but let's see what happens here on a rollout. And he throws, and it is almost intercepted by the Crusader defense. As Matt Karzelski knocked the ball away. And the Comets will have a 3rd down and 7. 14 minutes to play here as we are in the 4th quarter of a good one between the Comets and Crusaders. 35-26. Some major ramifications with the outcome of this game. Concordia 3-0 in the conference. And they throw a screenplay to Shuddy, who breaks a tackle and gets away near the sideline of the Crusaders before he is knocked down.
That was set up really nicely, Larry. We're going to have a replay here to show everyone at home what happens here. The tackles drop and bring those defensive ends in. The offensive lineman up front in the middle, the center guard, they peel off after 2 seconds and build a wall out there for Eric Shuddy. And he knows what to do with it when he gets the ball, believe me.
Yes.
I don't think it was enough for the first down, but that screen it was set up very nicely. And Eric Shuddy now back to punt for the Concordia Comets. We'll watch our snapper very closely here.
And he
very
also
nice
made that
snap.
tackle on that play that saved the first down possibility. Here's the kick, and wow! They made the decision to get away from it there, and boy, they got the benefit of an excellent bounce, Mike.
Well, that turned out real well. He got that ball up in the air and let it kind of take over, and the cardinal sin of a punt returner is to let a ball hit the ground. You're supposed to run under that thing and catch it no matter what. And he lets that one bounce, and it takes a Concordia bounce down to, I believe, about the 5-yard line, 5 or 6 yard line. I can't really tell from my viewpoint here. I think they've spotted the ball at about the 6, and that was an enormous special team play. And now Concordia definitely leads in special team play as far as I'm concerned.
And here they come as they pitch the ball on the outside. As you can hear the leather on leather here. John Nordstrom tried to turn the corner for the Crusaders, who trailed by 9 in a good one, 35-26. We anticipated an offensive showcase, and we've had it. We've had special teams play. We've had extra points blocked. We've had huge runs by Eric Shuddy. He's got 3 touchdowns in this game. And the Comets lead at 35-26. We've had 8 turnovers in this football game.
Let's go, like this. Go on, forward.
And here's a pass attempt as he throws out in the flat. He's got his man, number 41 again. Boy, is he adding to his numbers. Scott Lanzen takes the pass play from freshman quarterback Kevin Taylor, who made an excellent throw against the wind.
Well, Larry, Scott Lanzen is just having an unbelievable day. You know, we talk enough about Eric Shuddy, but Scott Lanzen has done an outstanding job with their Crusaders. The protection has held up extremely well.
Yes.
The offensive line has done a great job allowing him enough time to run his routes and for Kevin Taylor to step into it.
There's the handoff inside and breaks a tackle and rambles for more. Sean Madrid, well, he's softening up the middle of that Comet defense. He has just been very impressive, and he's really come on here in the second half, Mike.
I'll tell you, just when you expect the Crusaders to roll over and die, here they come. They just won't give up. You have to give them credit. They hand off to Sean Madrid. You see it. The hole is there. And he makes the best of it, and a lot of it on his own. You can see him running over people, too, now.
And they fake the handoff to him, and they go outside. Here comes number 32 trying to get outside for more. And he's knocked down at the 45-yard line just in front of us as the Crusaders of Maranatha in this border battle come marching back. John Nordstrom, he's had a big day as well, running the football as the Crusaders, with 12 minutes plus, 12:07 to play, try to cut into this 9-point lead that the Comets have. The Comets, they're 3-0 in the conference. They're off to their best start since 1988, and they have led all the way in this game, but we've had a good one from the very beginning. There's a flag on the play before the handoff to Madrid, And it looks like we're going to have a penalty against the Comets, but we'll see.
I think it may go against Maranatha.
And it's against the Comets, who give up 5 yards on a 2nd and 2. So that's an automatic first down for the Crusaders, who are on the march as they are now at midfield.
Well, the Comets not helping themselves with penalties now. Let's hope that doesn't come into play. Though that's another part of the game that you have to pay close attention to, is your concentration and the focus and the ability to stay with your assignment and your responsibilities without making mistakes. The penalties will kill you.
And here they go to hand it off again to the big back. And they roll inside midfield across the 48-yard line. John Nordstrom, 5'10", 190-pound junior tailback, has had a solid day of running the football here today.
Maranatha refuses to go down. These young men are out here fighting, and they're not going to quit. They are continuing to drive the ball well. Their running game is on, and as well as their passing game.
And they give it again to their big back Madrid, but he is met by the middle of the defense, and an excellent play by Lucas Woodford. Defensive end, senior, 6'3", 236 pounds, made an excellent play on that one.
Well, here he is. He gets the ball, he gets bounced around, and the defense holds this time. That's a chalk one up for Concordia there.
Yes, a loss on the play brings up a 3rd down and long. 3rd and 9 with 10:50 to play in this game. And Kevin Taylor drops back. He's got protection. He throws, and the ball is almost intercepted, and then it is intercepted by number 12, Corey Peterson, the freshman defensive back, caught the tip ball, and here come the Comets with their 6th turnover defensively today.
Well, this is why they work that tip drill. You saw the ball tipped earlier. I believe it was Aaron Newman who had his hand on the ball initially, and then it was picked off. And that's exactly why.
Well, you wonder what Kevin Taylor saw there. He threw the ball to not only one,
he throws, and Aaron Newman gets a hand on it, but then that's why they practice that tip drill. Corey Peterson picks the ball off and has a nice return here. Hangs on the ball, protects the ball. Another turnover for Concordia.
Yes.
That defense bends, but it doesn't break.
Kevin Taylor throws into coverage, and Eric Shuddy got cut down at about the 48-yard line on an excellent defensive play by number 13, Nathan Taylor. I believe he's the brother of Kevin Taylor, who just threw that interception.
We have several brother tandems out here.
That's correct.
We have the Shuddys, we have the Wolfords, we have the Taylors.
If the Comets wanted to change their names, they could become the Concordia Brothers. Here we go on a 2nd and 11 with 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 35-26 Comets over the Crusaders. And there's a flag on the play as the ball is handed off on the inside to Israel Olsen, the ball carrier. He's a sophomore, 5'8", 195 pounds.
I would think at this point in the ball game, it would be very crucial that Concordia try to hang on to the ball and keep. First downs are going to be key. I believe they will pick up the first down on this after the penalty.
Olsen is from Lakefield, Minnesota, and the official marches off the penalty against the Maranatha Crusaders.
We see the handoff. And somewhere in there, something is illegal. I don't know, I couldn't see it in there, but if you people did at home, you have better eyes than I did. But anyway, first down.
Comets working on some clock. They kick it to Eric Shuddy, who tries to get outside left and does. And boy, he got blasted as he crossed the 40-yard line. And the Comets work on some clock, leading by 9 and trying to hang on here in a key conference matchup And boy, if they can win this game, Mike, we talked about it earlier, what a matchup that lies ahead for them next week when they go after an opponent that they've been after for quite some time, Mount Scenario.
Here we can see Dustin handing off again to Eric Shuddy, and around the end he goes. And this is a better job of tackling the big guy. They've learned how to do that so far.
Drop back in the pocket. He throws a deep ball to his wide receiver. And it goes incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. We'll address that in a matter of seconds. But Jesse Furby tried to catch that pass, and he really stretched out to try to do so. But another penalty against the Crusaders, so that'll give the Comets another opportunity here. And it gives them a first down.
Costly mistakes.
Well, that Jesse Furby, he really gives you everything he has.
He has been excellent all afternoon.
You see players diving for football, hustling like that. It really makes you appreciate this game that we love, Mike.
It's hard to describe how much work these guys put in each week, as well as being students. They have really sacrificed over and beyond to keep up with their practice schedule, as well as hitting the books and trying to make their grades.
There's a handoff inside to number 30, the running back, but it did not fool the Crusader defense, as an excellent play is made on defense by Sean Applegate, senior defensive end. He's a big one, 6'4", 220. He made the tackle and knocked down Ryan Anderson, who attempted to pick up a gain on the play.
Well, he gets the ball, and it's just read right away by number 88, Ryan Anderson. And although that is not Ryan Anderson, that is number 88, Sean Applegate. Makes a nice defensive stop on that.
There's a blitz on the play, but he has protection. He throws deep, and it goes incomplete. No flags on the play. So it'll bring up a third down and still long, 14, as we get down to the nitty-gritty of a good one here in the capital city at Concordia Field. 35-26, 8:34 left. Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris with you. Mike Morris, of course, star with the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have some business to take care of tomorrow. They're 4-2 as they take on the Panthers of Carolina, who I understand are trying to take our baseball team away.
Well, let's hope that never happens.
Oh my!
I will not be able to live that one down.
And here's a drop back in the pocket as he throws a screen out in the flat. Oh my!
That was close.
Eric Shuddy with an excellent defensive play as he turned defender on a screen play, and
that was close.
The Crusader defender from getting between him and the football, Mike.
That was very lucky. That could have gone the other way real quick.
Boy, you want to be...
We're going to have a chance to see this again. He drops back. He throws off that... See how he's off balance when he throws that ball. He kind of floats it out there. The wrong thing to do in this kind of wind. And a Crusader defender, I can't quite pick out the number, almost steps in front of it. And if he had, he would have made it, I'm sure, to the end zone. Eric Shuddy now back in punt formation. The snap is good.
And the kick is
there
good.
It is. I think they're going to let that one roll into the end zone. It does.
And that means the Crusaders will start at their 20. They're still in it, folks. They, I'll tell you something, they're like an old shoe. You just can't get rid of them. 35-26 is the score, 8:23 left. And it's been an excellent football game here. A lot of turnovers, but the play has been solid on both sides.
Both of these teams are slugging it out offensively. And just when you expect Maranatha to roll over and die, they keep coming back at you. They keep marching right back down the field.
And here they go. They fake a pass in the flat. Then he's sacked defensively. Yes, sir. And there's a little dance by Justin Langbay, who comes across and makes the play. He's a linebacker, a senior, 6 foot, 215 pounds. And Langbay made an excellent defensive play as he sacked Kevin Taylor on first down.
comes in right off the edge and just gets him clean right around the legs, and down he goes.
7:50 to play on a sunny but extremely windy Saturday afternoon. Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris of the Vikings with you. There's a pitch play outside. The Crusaders try to turn the corner as they run near the sideline. And he gets out of bounds.
I don't think that will be
about the 20-yard line. That'll bring up a short gain of 2 and a 3rd and 10 for the Crusaders, who trail by 9 in a battle here between Concordia and Maranatha.
This is a big play right here, 3rd and 10. Another very important stat is, of course, your 3rd down conversions. This would be a big one with only 7 minutes left to play for Maranatha.
And here's a play. He rolls back to his left and throws out in the flat. It's complete to that man again.
I think he's going to come up short, Larry, but there he is again. You're right.
Kevin Taylor throwing out to Scott Lanson. Boy, he runs excellent routes and makes excellent decisions in getting the football.
Those two work well together. They have a good feel for each other. You can tell that Kevin is very comfortable throwing to Scott Lanson. He sets back. It's a 7-step drop. He rolls out, plants, throws the ball. Lanson has already broken his route up, and it's perfect timing. It's a beautiful thing to see when it happens that smoothly. And those two have done that so well all afternoon.
That brings up, like you said, a 4th and 1. They're going to be just short. So what do you do here, Mike? Now you're in, obviously.
Well, I tell you what, I like Sean Madrid on this. I really do. Or if their big thundering fullback feels up to the task, he's 6'1", 235. I could see that happening also. But I think it'll be Deshaun Madrid. That's who I go with. I like the way he thunders up through there.
So you definitely go for it on a 4th.
Oh, you have to. I think you have to.
Well, you're near the 30-yard line,
yeah.
But if you don't get it, it's lights out. I mean, you're down by 9.
You know what? I think they've got to. Going into the wind here in the 4th quarter, they're not going to get many opportunities. I think you almost have to do this.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it works out. The Crusaders and Coach Terry Price.
He thinks like I do, Larry. He thinks like I do.
He says, let's go for it.
You have to. You have to. Get 2 scores. You're working into the wind. Your field goal won't count. I mean, you got to.
And they give it off to the fullback. And there's a flag on the play. Let's see how the flag works out, because he picked up the 1st down. But let's see what the penalty is. Oh, it's against the Comets on defense, so they get the 1st down regardless.
Yep.
So an excellent decision by Coach Mike Morris and as well Terry
Why
Price.
didn't he give that ball to Sean Madrid?
They pick up the 1st down, and they keep this drive alive. They need a 9-point play. I don't think you can make a 9-point play in college football.
You can't do that. In fact, I think they're going to have to score 2 touchdowns. I don't know how they're going to get a field goal to go through. That'd be a pretty tough one, kicking into that wind, Larry.
Yes.
And we've talked about it all day, but it definitely is a factor.
7:12 to play. Here comes Kevin Taylor leading this Maranatha football team. He drops back in the pocket and throws across the middle. It's almost intercepted, I should say, by Sean Fondo, who had the beat on it, actually had it for a few seconds, but couldn't hang on to the football. It goes incomplete. That means it's 2nd down and 10 at the 34-yard line for Maranatha. The Comets of Concordia trying to hang on to this lead, and what a big win it would be for them. They would remain unbeaten in the conference. They're off to their best start since 1988, which I believe was the last time the Vikings won a playoff game, Mike Morris.
1988? I was not here then. I would not know. I would have been with the St. Louis Cardinals, actually the Phoenix Cardinals at that time.
And let's see, Nathan drops back and throws it out in the flat, and the Comet defense was waiting for him. I should say Taylor dropped back in the pocket and tried to get the ball to Nathan Taylor. So
well, the Concordia defense read that all the way. You can see it trying to set something up out here to the left side, and Concordia reads it the whole way. Great recognition by the defensive players of Concordia.
snuffing that one out.
Yes, sir. They do the job defensively as they have done all day long. They have forced 6 turnovers in this game and lead it by 9. And there's a pitch play to Taylor as he comes up a quarterback passing and throws and completes the ball.
Guess who?
Oh my, that's that man again, Scott Lanson. And a beautiful play as Kevin Taylor gives it to his brother Nathan Taylor, who stopped on the fake pass and run and threw the ball.
Little halfback pass. Nice, well executed. And unbelievable, that guy's got a rifle too.
Yes.
Kevin Taylor, Nathan Taylor, the Taylor boys are passers. They can throw that ball.
And they give the ball to that man again, Sean Madrid, who met the middle of the defense, which he has met all day long.
That was a very impressive pass. I was wondering, I'm just hoping that we have that down in the truck. Hopefully we can pull that back up. But that halfback pass was a thing of beauty. That set up very nice, and he stood in there and really hummed that ball.
And it was a long developing play. And you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line.
The offensive line, anytime it has to be held that long, those Hogs front are doing their job, and they have done a very good job this afternoon.
And they didn't get a player downfield. Sometimes that happens. Offensive linemen beat downfield on plays like that. There's a pass by Taylor out flat, goes incomplete as Nathan Taylor rolled to his left and tried to hit his favorite receiver, Scott Lanson. The ball goes incomplete, and it brings up now a 3rd and 10. 5 minutes and 21 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter of a game that has been a battle from the very beginning. The Comets of Concordia had a 21-0 lead to start it, but then the Crusaders battled back to 21-14, then 28-14, and here we stand at 35-26. And there's a flag on the play as Taylor drops back and throws in the flat to his man Lanson, and he grabs the ball near the 40-yard line and stop the clock. And let's see what the official rules here.
Well, this has been a wild one, Larry Fitzgerald. We have seen kick returns. We're going to find out what happened here.
Offside.
It looks like a little encroachment. That may go against Concordia from what our screen shows. And there's that guy, Scott Lanson again. Now, they'll probably get to have that play, won't they? That's a free play.
Yeah, but see, the problem is it wasn't enough for the first down.
It actually is against...
No, they're going to take
No, it actually... Okay, all right. It was before.
Because with a 3rd and 10, they were short on the play, so if they didn't take the penalty, they would have still had a 4th down play. So they get the play and the 5 yards, and they'll try and pick up another.
That is correct. This has been a wild one. Kickoff returns go the distance. 92-yard runs, won by Eric Shuddy. Interceptions returned 60, 70 yards. The 2 quarterbacks have had heydays.
Here we go. Taylor blitzed, and he gets the ball off, but it's knocked away. But he had to get the ball away quite quickly because he was blitzed on the play by Justin Langbay. He came across the line, the linebacker did, and put the pressure on Mr. Taylor, who has had to...
He had some heat. You can really see how close this actually was to being a sack. He gets the ball away, but it's knocked away nicely by Aaron Newman. Number 38 for Concordia.
4th down and 6. This could be the ball game for the Crusaders here. As Taylor drops back in the pocket, and he throws deep to his wide receiver. And there's a flag on the play. The ball goes incomplete as number 21, Seth Spate, was the receiver, and a flag was thrown on the play. Let's see what
Larry,
the
I think they're going to call defensive pass interference.
Oh my, the Comets are called, as you mentioned, with interference, and that's an automatic 1st down, and the Crusaders are still in it.
You can judge for yourselves. What do you think happened? You make the call.
Gee, Manee, that's a tough call.
Boy,
that is really tough. I don't know if I agree with that. That looked like a pretty good defensive play by number 28, Tim Flannery.
They pick up the first down via the penalty.
That's a close one.
Yes.
You make the call.
Judgment call. Yes.
I would like to see that again, please. You see the two go up for it. They both have equal opportunity for this ball. And I don't see a lot of contact. I think he makes a pretty nice play on that.
There's a good handoff inside, and he breaks up tackles. He being John Nordstrom, as he rambles across the 30 down near the 20-yard line. And my goodness, this Crusader football team just won't die.
They will not go down just inside 5 minutes. They really still do have time. If they can get one on the board here, real quick here, they can come back with an onside. You can't count this team out. They've fought well, then they jump offsides.
Yes.
See, and they shoot themselves in the foot just as I'm giving them a chance here.
And that's a big penalty because it'll march them back 5 yards. And not only do they need points, but they're running out of time.
And you can see our left tackle jump off sides, and of course someone else down on the other end there in their peripheral vision, they can see him moving, and now they jump. So they shoot themselves in the foot. Let's see if they can rebound.
Here comes the freshman Kevin Taylor leading his offense out. He drops back close to his right, stops, looks, and throws to his man, who catches anything that's thrown to him today and grabs it and puts it away. Scott Lanson, he has just been so impressive today. They stop the clock with just over 4 minutes to play, 4:07. The ball is at the 26-yard line.
And they have a first down, and they're moving that ball very well. And so they actually hold their own after the penalty, and they pick up the first down, a big first down too, I might add.
It was, and coming after a penalty, as you said, they shot themselves in the foot, but they answered the bell again. The Crusaders, Maranatha, really tough. Let's see what. Oh, he slips.
He loses his footing. He goes down. That's unfortunate. He had someone wide open. He was setting to throw the ball, and the sod gave way, and down he went.
And it'll be registered as a sack, of course.
The Concordia Comets come up smelling good on that.
3:35 left in this one. Here we go. There's a flag on the play. As he throws out in the flat, the ball goes incomplete. Let's see what the flag will bring us.
He got planted really good. Kevin Taylor is slow getting up. Number 79, Travis Bush, the big defensive tackle from Concordia, laying a pretty good shot on him. He's going to swing out here. Looks like he lands right in the middle of his back, and if you've never had that happen to you, let me tell you.
That's painful, eh?
That's painful, especially when the guy that's landing on you might outweigh you by 100 pounds.
Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris with you. Don't forget, folks, in case you didn't know about it, Larry Fitzgerald and Viking head coach Dennis Green get together every Monday after a Viking Sunday game, 4:30 to 5 o'clock on KMOJ Radio. That's the official call-in show of the Viking head coach. And then on Monday nights, I'm at the Mall of America, where I was with Mike Morris a couple of weeks ago. We had a great time.
We had some fun out there. I kind of like that gig. You can have me out there anytime you want, Larry. I like that show.
I'm going to have you back. You do a terrific job, and you bring all of that fan club of yours, about 20,000. There's a throw out in the flat that goes incomplete. The receiver, or intended receiver, was Seth Spate, but Kevin Taylor threw that one a little high and wide. And it's now 2nd and 25. My goodness.
Well, this Concordia defense now, they've shown that they can bend a little bit, but they don't break. They get pretty tough when the ball crosses about the 30-yard line and nearing that red zone. They really do kind of tighten up. That's been the one thing about them, is that they have found ways to win, to keep their team in this ball game, whether it be an interception or whatnot. They're a pretty tough outfit.
They do what the Vikings do. They take the ball away from their opponent defensively. There's a pass in the flat, and Taylor was hit as he attempted the pass on that third and extremely long 25-yard play, and it goes incomplete. And
so this is pretty much it right here, folks.
That's right.
This is the play coming up right now. 3 minutes and 23 seconds. The Concordia Comets leading the Crusaders by 9 points. We have a 4th down now, and how much? It looks like 20. Might be more than that, about 23 yards for a 1st down, and really, this is pretty much the ball game for the Crusaders.
That it is. Taylor drops back, rolls a little bit. He's got protection, throws deep down near the sideline, and it is. Goes incomplete, and that means the Comet defense does the job defensively, and they will get the football at the 33-yard line with a chance to run the clock out on the Crusaders of Maranatha. 35-26 to score. The Comets lead it, and they are in the driver's seat to trying to pick up their 4th consecutive conference win and setting up that showdown next week against Mount Scenario. Oh my. Mike, I got a feeling we're in the 4th quarter. I know the scoreboard says the 3rd quarter. We're going to have to get that checked. But
well, I remember them changing sides of the field and kicking different directions.
Yes.
Well, that would be technical difficulty, wouldn't it?
That would be.
If we had been doing it for that long and that wrong for that long, our truck downstairs.
It's official. We've got the word. It is the 4th quarter.
Please change the scoreboard down there.
Yeah,
don't panic, Larry Fitzgerald and myself.
That's correct.
3rd quarter, it is not. It is 4th quarter, or that was the longest 3rd quarter in the history of football.
That's correct.
In the history of the game. Plus, the teams have been changed.
Yes.
We won't have that. Change that scoreboard before Larry and I have a heart failure.
That's correct. Oh my.
Informing us that it is still 3rd quarter as it is read on our scoreboard here. Not the case.
You keep this on the ground, Mike?
I think you want to just eat the clock up now, for sure, and pick up a key 1st down.
And
I think they'll grind it out and keep it in the middle of the hashes and trying to eat away at that clock.
And they give it to their workhorse running back, Eric Shuddy, who's had a terrific day, 3 touchdowns. And Maranatha, the Crusaders, come up with the play defensively and quickly use one of their timeouts. Tell me this, Mike. How do the Vikings feel? You've got a few players beat up. I guess Orlando Thomas may not play tomorrow or won't start. And then Big Corey Stringer won't start. What about your running back, backup running back, or your combo? I call it Lightning and Thunder, Robert Smith, and as well Leroy Horde. Will Leroy be available tomorrow?
I'm not sure what the status is on Leroy Horde. In fact, I think I'm only sure of one of those, Corey Stringer. I don't believe will be playing tomorrow. He'll be on the sidelines, but not participating. You know, you have to cinch it up in a situation like that, where you're going to get nicked going through a National Football League season, and you've got to just rely on your backups to get you through a couple weeks until you can get your horses back out there on the field. We have a great backup with Scott Dill. He's very capable, a great 10-year veteran player that will step in for Corey Stringer. But you just have to cinch it up, Larry.
And that the Vikings will do, a 3 o'clock kickoff at the Dome tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers. Here comes Shuddy on a run around right in, and he tries to stay in bounds, but he's knocked out of bounds. And he's close to a 1st down near the 45-yard line. On a 3rd and 9 play, I believe he picked up 10.
We've got a replay. on the fourth quarter replay.
Yes.
Fourth quarter replay. Here's the fake reverse, and Eric Schutte keeps the ball and ends up picking up an enormous first down. The only thing wrong about this is that he gets shoved out of bounds, of course, and it stops the clock, but that is a big first down, and they'll have a chance to run it a couple more times.
I know what it is, Mike. Our folks in the truck, they're paid by the hour. They want us to go another 2 or 3.
They'd like to milk another quarter out of this, wouldn't they?
And Schutte takes the football, and he's knocked down. He's knocked down near the 45-yard line with 2 minutes and 40 seconds away as the Comets are marching their way to a big win as they try to improve their record to 5-2, 4-0 in the conference, and they knock Maranatha, if they can hang on to this one, to 1-2 in the conference and 3-3 on the season. Next week, Mount Scenario, they've got to go to Ladysmith, Wisconsin for that big one.
Well, there's still actually plenty of time in this game actually to win, even if you're on the other side of the ball. Actually, 2 minutes is a lot of time in football, but I think that they've got this game in control, and it looks to me like they're going to come out on top of this. But I will take my hat off to this Maranatha team. The Crusaders came in here today and put up a heck of a fight, and they did not go down easily, and they still really are not down. But let's just say they came in here and fought. They came in here to try and win this football game. And they've got a lot of offense, Larry Fitzgerald. They've got a lot of weapons on their side of the ball. Scott Lanzin was great today. Kevin Taylor, Nathan Taylor was all over the place, and as well as Sean Madrid. They came to play football, and so did their defense, for that matter.
Yes, they did. They did a terrific job of taking the ball away from this Crusader team, and there's a throw out in the flat, and it's complete to one of the top receivers on the field. No doubt about it. He's been terrific all day long. And he is there again, Mr. Jesse Furby, senior wide receiver, with an excellent catch. And
it is a little scary to see him passing the ball this late in the game. Anything can happen on these. But the ball is put where it's supposed to be put. And this man has had an outstanding game today as well, Jesse Furby. And he comes up with another big catch.
And that basically will wrap this one up for the Comets with 50 seconds to play in this game, and the clock is stopped by the officials. No timeouts for the Crusaders, so it's tap city for them if the Comets don't turn the football over here in the final 50 seconds, as they are going to win on their home field on homecoming. So let the partying begin.
Yeah, I guess they're going to go to a 5-2. That makes them what, 4-0 in conference play in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference, and they played like they mean business, Larry. They really had a lot of fantastic plays on the part of their special teams, their defense, as well as their offense. Special teams comes up with a 98-yard kickoff return. I swear it was 170. Their defense picked off a pass and ran it back 60 yards. And Eric, the center snap. Let's watch him. Yeah, he has to look. Whoops! Oh my! Oh, we jinxed him.
Yes.
And we're taking a look at the long snapper on that. Now he looks back underneath his legs. A lot of the pros now, a lot of the long snappers in the NFL don't look back at the punter, but
why?
He looks back. Well, because you want to see what's bouncing around in front of you.
Okay.
For all those long snappers out there in the world, please check out your replay. I don't have it on my screen, but let me just tell you, he hung on to that ball just a little too long, and it almost sailed on him. But he gets the ball there, and Eric Schutte gets it off, and it looks like a wrap for the Comets of Concordia University.
And there's a snap as Taylor throws out in the flat to his wide receiver, and he gets the ball and tries to get out of bounds near the 40-yard line.
He gets out of bounds, Larry, with 38 seconds left on the clock, and it'd be safe to say at this point that the homecoming dance will be a smash.
Yes, it'll take a near miracle for the Crusaders to pull this one off. No timeouts, but I saw a team in Arizona last week. I was there, had no timeouts left, trailed in the game, and still pulled it out.
I remember that well. I remember like it was, just last week even.
The thrill of victory.
Oh, my shoulder is still sore from carrying young Eddie Murray off the field with the ancient Fred Zamberletti.
Yes, Freddie's been around. He's seen every Viking game, hasn't he?
He has been a day one Viking. He's seen them all come through the purple. And Fred Zamberletti has got more war stories than any football man alive. Believe me.
34 seconds left in this one, and Taylor throws out in the flat to his star wide receiver, who grabs the ball and knows exactly what to do with it.
Somebody please tell me how many catches Scott Lanson has on the day.
I would just throw a number 15 at you. That's a rough estimate. I would bet he's in that area.
He had 4 in the first half.
And here we go.
We'd love to show you the replay of that, but I don't have a monitor to go by.
28 seconds left in this one as Taylor drops back and throws the other way, and the pass goes incomplete.
That's why Scott Lanson gets the ball a lot.
Correct. Those sure hands. Okay. 25 seconds left in this one. Larry Fitzgerald and Mike Morris. We've had a fun day here during this game, and we want to throw our thanks out to SPNN, the community cable of the capital city of St. Paul, for inviting us to be with you. And Taylor drops back and he tries to scramble, and he's sacked, and he is sacked on the play, and that will bring it to an end. Lucas Woodford with the sack with just 10 seconds left. And my goodness, congratulations are in order to Coach Tom Cross in his 11th season as his team picks up a win here as the play comes to an end on a pass play. Reception made by Seth Spate, pass by Kevin Taylor, and the two teams will meet at the middle of the field where they've met basically all afternoon, Mike Morris, and shake hands and congratulate each other on a tough battle, but a battle won by the Comets of Concordia University.
Well, Larry, a very physical football game, a lot of huge plays, as we have mentioned. And these men, you have to take your hats off to them. Let's remember they're student athletes, and they put in a pretty tough work week with their classes and all their school, and as well as making it to practice every night and putting up with coaches and whatnot for 2 or 3 hours a night. And Concordia has worked extremely hard this season, and they have got themselves in position now to do the kind of things you set out to do. With a 5-2 record now, 4-0 conference play, as they beat the Crusaders of Maranatha College in a whopping offensive battle. 35-26 was the score here this afternoon.
Mike Morris, is that a good omen for tomorrow? Because the Vikings will attempt to go to 5-2 with a victory on their home field against the Carolina Panthers, who come in here in a desperate situation, a team that has struggled with their defense stopping the run, and they have turned the ball over quite a bit, but they've had 2 weeks to prepare for you.
Well, this will be a tough game. This is going to be a very physical football game. The Carolina team is an outstanding football club coming off of the NFC Championship game last year against the Green Bay Packers. They have a lot of weapons. We'll have to be on our best game, no question about it. And there's no easy wins in the National Football League. You got to play every down if you want to come up with a win in this league. There are no freebies. And I can't wait to line up. I wish we could do it right now.
Well, best of luck to you tomorrow, and really enjoyed being with you today, working on this broadcast. And we saw an extremely well-played football game offensively by the Comets of Concordia University before this huge crowd on their homecoming, and the Crusaders who came across the border and really laid it out there. They started with some mistakes. Both teams did. 5 turnovers in the first 10 minutes of this game, and that sort of set the tone for the type of game we had here today. But really was a game that we all enjoyed, and one that clearly went to the better team, and I think that better team is Concordia. They won this one because they wanted it more and they played better when they had to.
Well, I think they made the best of their opportunities. They forced a lot of turnovers. Even though they turned the ball over a lot, they got that under control and made the best of theirs. And just like we said at the top of the broadcast, normally the team that picks off the ball the most and takes the ball away the most will normally win the game, and probably the team that makes the biggest plays, the most big plays. Because that's really what it comes down to. That's really what it boils down to, is which team will make more big plays. And I think you'd have to hand that to the kick returns and the interception returns and the long run by Eric Schutt. And, you know, that's where it came from. Those are two vital stats, and if anyone can prove that wrong, you'll have broken the whole theory. But more than not, turnovers and big plays will always be the deciding factor in football.
And winning that turnover margin, the turnover margin is so important, as you mentioned, and also give a lot of credit to Sean Kuykendall. That kick return was big because it was right after the Crusaders had cut that margin to less than a touchdown, and he ran it right back on the handoff. I'm Larry Fitzgerald with Mike Morris. Special thanks again to our crew at SPNN and as well to Mr. Kwame McDonald. I'm Larry Fitzgerald for Mike Morris, the best long snapper in the National Football League.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. I had enjoyed myself coming on with you this afternoon.
And saying so long from the capital city of St. Paul, where the Comets win it 35-26 over the Crusaders.